Yo, people, lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for the Oil Boys show. And I decided, let's not kick it off ridiculously late for you today. Monstar's going to be coming in after he's had his dinner. Do you know what I'm saying? He's just feasting on that Champions League win before he gets in here. Big Steve, hopefully in a bit later as well. But I thought, let me kick it off one at a time. Form a queue, because we got a lot to discuss today. And we thought it was going to be England, Saj. You know, that dire, disgusting, dirt performance against Romania. But no. But hold on. Manchester City are doing a clean sweep of the individual awards. Some deserved and some not so. So first of all, Saj, how are you doing? Why are you wearing what you're wearing?
Okay, so I'm good. I'm good. And in honor of what we did, clean sweeping, 4-piece, manager, player, young player. I've just thought I might as well just have won the Bally, because we robbed the end of year awards. It was disgusting. It was horrible. We did damage. We came in. We took what we took. You can't identify who's giving the awards to who, and we got out. That's what Man City did. So in that honor, you got to go to the Bally, and because Daddy, that's the South London way. So
okay, cool.
Yes, that's how we're moving.
I get your vibe. Now listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I voted for Ruben Diaz for the Football Writers Player of the Year, so I can't really now turn around and complain. I think now that I look back on it, would I have changed my vote to Harry Kane? Maybe, but I still feel like Ruben Diaz is a solid enough winner. I think he does. You can make a case for him. You can make a case for Harry Kane having the most goals and assists, but you can make a case for Ruben Diaz. So I'm not really vexed about that. Phil Foden, winning Young Player of the Year. Again, I think in terms of how many games he's played, I think it's a little bit suspect. But in terms of what he's actually done on the pitch in those minutes, given
who would have taken over? Who? What, Saka?
No, not Saka. I personally would like to think that Mason Mount deserves some sort of recognition for the season he gets.
He did get recognition. The Champions League medal.
Of course.
Even despite being the second worst player on Chelsea's field during that finals. Yes, I said it. Live with it. Bruv, don't miss me with that. He got his reward. That was the Champions League final. This ain't nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Monstar and Big Steve will be here later. It was either wait and make you guys pissed off that we're late, or just say they're going to be here later. So you got to pick
again. I'm seeing people saying I'm mad, I'm this, I'm that. No, I'm none of these things. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Okay, we didn't win the Champions League, but we swept these awards.
Listen, when it comes to the whole season, I think Mason Mount deserves it more. He played consistently from start to finish. He played a lot more minutes. And yeah, Foden's got more goals and assists. But I just think if you're going to win an award like that, you need to have played a lot.
No. So I'm very confused right now. Please do the maths, do the calculations, as certain people would say. Explain to me, how does that, he's got more goals and assists, that applies to, that doesn't apply to Phil Foden, but then it does apply to Harry Kane. Make it make sense.
Well, Harry Kane, it's not just about goals and assists. He played nearly all of Tottenham games. So he played a lot of He's
the best player on a bad team. He is the Grealish of Tottenham.
If you're gonna win an award for player of the season, I would expect you to have played the majority of the games in that season. And I'm not talking about a majority as a 60-40 or even a 70-30, which is really where Foden's sitting about. Yeah, I'm talking about playing 80-90% minimum of the season, in my opinion. That's what I would say. But that's not even where I'm egregious. That's not even where I'm giving my smoke.
No. Let me call you Chelsea fans out on the hypocrisy. I am shocked that I'm hearing. I haven't heard anyone's name come out. Kevin De Bruyne, he didn't deserve it. Should have gone to Kane. Why am I not hearing Kante's name? If you lot.
Don't do that, because
you lot can prop Kante. If you lot can prop Kante up to go up for the Ballon d'Or,
I say that?
Not be going up. A lot of Chelsea fans have been.
Okay, but I have not. So let's take if you're are you talking to me or are you talking to the Chelsea fan base?
All right, we'll go with you. We'll go with you.
Okay, so for the Ballon d'Or, I'm personally at the moment giving it to Lewandowski. Kante would have to have a great Euros, and then maybe he comes into the conversation a lot more. But right now, as it stands, Lewandowski for me is head and shoulders the Ballon d'Or winner. So you can't use that Kante thing on me. What I'm saying is, and what I'm going to move it on to, the key part of here, because you're talking about Foden not playing a lot of games, Kante not being maybe at his spectacular best for the whole season. I think he was good at the start. I'm just saying,
how can you get nominated how can people say...
For the Ballon d'Or, but not win Chelsea's Player of the Year?
Yeah, just doesn't make sense.
I personally don't think it makes sense either. If you haven't been Chelsea's best player of the season, how can then you go for a Ballon d'Or? Unless then France come into the equation in the summer, which is what we're waiting for. Now, Kante was kind of slept on at the beginning of the season. He was good. He wasn't as good as he was at the end of the season, but he still was good at the start of the season. He played the lone DM role. He was top of the league near the middle or end of November, doing pretty well defensively as a team. Arguably, the opposition weren't great. We had a terrible record against the top six. We all know that. But towards the end of the season, Champions League, great performances. Is that enough for a Ballon d'Or personally? I don't think so. I think Lewandowski is very clear. Now, the part where I have an issue with, and I'm hoping my brother Monstar is going to back me up on this when he gets here later. And I know Big Steve is going to take your side on this, so it's going to be quite an even fight. There's no way in hell you can tell me that PFA Player of the Year is Kevin De Bruyne this season. And I don't usually care about this stuff, but this award is starting to lose credibility very, very quickly for me when you're handing out PFA Player of the Year to Kevin De Bruyne. Do you honestly think he deserves to win it, Sajjo, or are you gonna be playing with me today?
I will not even cap to you, bruv. I genuinely thought the FIFA Writers Association Player of the Year was the exact same as the Premier League, and I won't even lie to you because I was like, wait, I thought we already got a Player of the Year. Different awards from different people. We were having this debate just before we came on, and I did say
someone said something so rude.
It's hard. It's hard to justify. It's hard.
Someone, did you see that comment? I'm going to keep this up on the screen because I got to read out this super chat. But someone just said, "Why does the opinion of footballers like Charlie Austin and McBurney matter to PFA Player of the Season?" That would be rude, fam.
Charlie Austin was good before the injuries. Anyway, so I'm gonna say, bruv.
Yeah, just be honest. You don't need to like push. Okay, you don't need to stand up and dance for the Man City fans in the chat.
All I can remember from this season is 5-2 Leicester, innit? And like, nah, we it's not like we had a clean sweep the entire season. I'm not gonna lie, the bounce back was dope. Yeah, like from when we were super low, but in my head, just the game of the season was 5-2 Leicester. It's ingrained. People forget bad. Man City were really poor at the start of the season.
So bad. Yeah. So this is my gripe. If Man City had been on form for the whole season and they had just been very consistent throughout the whole season, then fair enough. But we tend to forget until early December. I think it was around early December, late November. You guys were awful, and I mean dreadful. So that's August, September.
Legitimately, it was. I was nervous, innit? I thought
you was nervous. People would ruled you out the title race, and you were nervous. That's August, September, October, November. Nothing, really. So how is it such a clean sweep? I don't really understand. I understand you getting maybe 2/3 of it, but I don't get how it's such a clean sweep here. I mean, who would you have gone with someone else over De Bruyne? Who would you have given it to then? Because this super chat's telling me that
player of the year. Damn. Because you said, I need to think about that for a sec. Because you said he wasn't even the best midfielder. I said, why am I wearing a pink hijab?
I mean,
because you said Gundogan was.
I think better. You've got a lot of contenders for midfielder. I think Gundogan had a really good year, and again, not the most consistent from either. But I think he's up there.
Question: Do you get a trophy for most assists in the season?
Well, Harry Kane got most goals and most assists this season, which is why I find this incredible.
The most goals thing was fine.
And what you said to me in the living room was nuts. And let's just point that out. There's no way you back this point, right? That Harry Kane doing it on a worse team that didn't win anything means that he shouldn't get PFA Player of the Year, because the fact that he did it on a worse team with less quality around him and exceeded his what was expected of him this season with the most goals and most assists in a pretty dead Tottenham team, does that not elevate him even further to deserving this award? Because it's an individual award. You guys are bringing in team achievements. Man City won the league. That is not relevant to individual awards. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I see where you're coming from. Again, I'm not sure how it got. Like we got this result, but at the same time, I'm like,
you're smug.
No, I'm not even smug. Like, it's cool, but like, question, like, honest to God, how much do we rate the season and end of year player or player of the year?
Not very much right now. I mean, I was cool with Diaz because I voted for him. Phil Foden, I can handle it. I don't think he personally deserves it for me over Mason Mount, but cool. Whatever, but the Kevin De Bruyne one is where I put my foot down. I was like, yo, this is a bit ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? That's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. Now, like I said, Blue Moon here with the super chat saying Kevin De Bruyne, Diaz, and Phil are the best players in the league. Mount isn't on the same level as Phil. Don't embarrass yourself, man. I thought you had a brain.
Hit him, Blue Moon.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's not about who's the best player in terms of like rating. I'm talking about who's had the best season.
Okay, because I feel like this is the thing, yeah. This is a weird one because I feel like a lot of people are going to quantify end of year achievements with club achievements instead of solo accolades.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a sticky one, isn't it?
But okay, so let me ask you then directly: Has Harry Kane, has Kevin De Bruyne had a better season than Harry Kane this season?
Of course not. He's been great. He's been great, but no.
Exactly. So that immediately now you're telling me
if he wasn't even top assist of this end of the season, no. I'm not saying. I'm saying Harry Kane's better than Kevin De Bruyne, which he is. Let's be real. It's close, isn't it? You know,
it's not close.
No, I'm saying in terms of like who's better, it's close. I'm saying who had a better season. Of course, Harry Kane.
In terms of who had a better season this season, it's not close.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's close. I'm saying in terms of ability. Like,
yeah, but ability, like we can talk about ability until the cows come home. Eden Hazard on ability is better than Aspas, but Aspas has been a better player this season for whoever the hell he's playing for in Spain. Do you know what I mean? It's not about ability right now. It's about
Aspas,
yeah. The former Liverpool striker.
Yeah, Celta Vigo.
Yeah, Celta Vigo. So on ability, Eden Hazard is absolutely donkey's clear, but on what's actually happened this season, it's not even close. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where, for me, these kind of awards are very. They are losing a bit of weight. Now, I have to ask you something, right, as a Man City fan, because I don't know how you're going to look at it, but it'll be interesting to get your opinion.
If you saw the comment, I just did. No, you saw. I think you saw the same comment.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Cool. Do you think, because people have claimed over the years that there's been some media bias towards Liverpool in English media, with maybe the panelists that are on Sky Sports, a lot of Liverpool fans, maybe the way that when Liverpool win, the title, they do a documentary about it, etc., etc. Do you feel like that media bias is starting to come to Manchester City in the same way, or no?
Nah, like unless we're referring to like the English players, nah, not really. Like, do I? But again, like, here's the thing. When it comes to managers, like, I feel like the media has like, they're like 5, 6, 7 managers that they're just infatuated with, and then everyone else can just go suck a lemon, pretty much, innit? Like, you got your like even last year with Tottenham getting their own Amazon series. That was Guardiola infatuation. I'm sorry, that was Mourinho infatuation, innit?
Yeah.
I feel like if you're just a middle of the road manager, they don't really care about you, but like, there's certain managers that the media just falls in love with. Now, do I believe that when it comes to like Phil Foden of Man City, there is like media bias, crazy media bias? But again, this country loves to build up a narrative of a young boy, innit? Especially homegrown. Like, just like even with Harry Kane, he like, if you're not gonna lie, he's media biased. Even the other day when it even came to the England squad, we were talking off screen where I was like, I do not understand how Phil Foden and Jordan Henderson has made it into the England squad, and it has to be because they are big.
No,
names.
You mean Raheem Sterling, not.
Sorry, Raheem Sterling. Sorry, not Phil. Sorry, Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling was awful this season, like legitimately bad. How he's made it into the England squad? It has to be a name thing. It has to be a media thing. I don't understand otherwise. Because if we're going off merit, it's not there.
It's absolutely not there. It's not even close. Do you know what I mean? If we're going off merit, that's what I'm saying. But that whole England thing is a whole different discussion that I'll leave towards the end, because I'm not gonna lie, I need everybody else's opinions on that. Glinch is saying not voting for De Bruyne for Player of the Year is like not voting for Messi at the Ballon d'Or. I don't agree with that.
Messi's been again, okay. This year, would you vote for Messi to win the Ballon d'Or? No, bruv.
That's what he's saying.
Again, that's a bad take. Arguably,
I feel like that's just clout. That's just like man, them have just like got it fixated in their head that this is the best player in the world. This is the best player in their league.
But you do understand, yeah, like you do understand, like just like award shows, the Grammys and that. If certain like high level artists or high level players, so on and so forth, don't win, they won't go to the awards. Like seriously,
it's a little bit salty. If you ask me,
like Ronaldo and Messi have done it before. Ronaldo's definitely done it before. There's been times in the past where if he was told he wasn't going to win, he just wouldn't show up. So you can't, like, clout doesn't mean anything, considering that how you play during the season is how you play.
Also, Pep got Manager of the Year. Did you agree with that? I mean, I would say that, to be honest, I think he's quite deserving of that. But also, then you could, I mean, whoever wins the league is usually quite deserving of it, unless it's like really tight. And then you can say someone's massively overachieved, but the league wasn't really tight. I think Man City kind of had this wrapped up.
I think Pep got Manager of the Year for the actual. This is the first time, in my personal opinion, since Pep's been manager, where he has had actual like
grounds to win.
He's had not even grounds. He's had to be resilient. He had to. Beginning of the season was awful. Lost the star man in Aguero. Had to be resilient. Actually faced some level of like obstacles to overcome. Had to reinvent the system, and then come back from so far low to so far high again. Like, what more can you really ask for? You know.
And then, you know, I don't think this was included because I think it was just based on Premier League performance. But semi-finals at FA Cup, final of the Champions League,
also
winning.
I'm gonna say
it's been pretty impressive.
This is gonna sound a bit nuts, yeah. Like, I feel like the only other manager in this league system that would have had a chance of winning
David Moyes.
I was gonna say Brendan Rodgers if he got top 4.
Yeah, and that's a good shout. Yeah, because FA Cup as well. Yeah.
And the only reason that I don't put Tuchel in that is because he didn't do
He wasn't here for the whole season. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and then apart from that, most other managers were kind of bad this season. Klopp had a lot of off-field and on-field issues that kind of had Liverpool stalling. Mourinho came and left.
Yeah.
Nuno had a bad season. David Moyes had a good season, but not enough to give him Manager of the Year. Like, it's not like a Chris Wilder thing from 2 years ago. You literally took a team that was relegated to promotion.
West Ham were flirting near the relegation zone, and then they got Europa League football. I think that's a pretty big come up.
No, don't get twisted. It's big, but like if they got champ again, just like I'll put in the same bracket as Leicester. If they got Champions League, now we're in a different kind of conversation.
I think when it comes to West Ham, I link them similar to Chelsea as when we finished 10th. Just because they finished near the relegation zone doesn't mean that's the kind of level team they were. Like, they should never have been down there for me. Do you know what I mean? With the players that they have in that squad, they should never have really been down there in the first place. So to bring them up to Europa League is obviously brilliant.
I think
they're a mid-table team minimum.
People say Bielsa with Leeds. Bielsa's season was... Leeds is such a weird team to judge on season.
It is. It's very difficult.
Leeds,
but now you have to ask yourself, Bielsa over Guardiola, I think that'd be a bit harsh.
But remember, last year Bielsa was in the Ballon d'Or final for Manager of the Year. So it's like, bro, like Bielsa's so weird. You know, he's up and down with his team. Like, bro, Leicester is such a weird team. They can go away and beat someone 4-0. Or you can come to them and beat them 5-1, and you kind of just can't pull it. And anything in between, like. But this is why Leicester's so interesting in terms of Leeds is so interesting in actually going to watch them play, because you never know what's going to happen. Come to Man City, slapped them up 2-0. No one saw that coming.
I do think it is just based on the league performance, and that's why I think David Moyes probably gets a lot closer to Pep than it would be if it was just about all comps. Because if it was about all comps, I think Pep takes this all day long, because two finals, one win in one of those finals, a Premier League and semi-finals at FA Cup. You're basically challenging on all fronts for the whole season. But I'm pretty sure this is just about league campaign. And then in that respect,
okay, then if it's just league campaign, then definitely the only person that was competing with Pep would have easily been Rodgers. Easy.
Not David Moyes. You don't think David Moyes would be competing?
Not like Rodgers, man.
But
do you know why? Yeah, because
Leicester were up there anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like Leicester been quite steady in the top six for a while now.
I understand that, but like even despite Leicester always being like up their team, I feel like the general public still see Leicester as, can they actually attain it? It's a can they attain it type
situation. They're flirting with it. I'd like to think that they're flirting with it. You know what I mean?
They're more than flirting with it. Like Leicester were pretty much up there the entire season. Up until the last few weeks.
They're at the bar, they're ordering drinks, but they haven't quite gone over and made the move yet. Do you know what I mean? But in respect, though, to be fair, they still have won a Premier League title, which was obviously a flash in the pan. But you're talking about consistently being in the Champions League top 4, innit?
I just think once they break that mold, then we can have that conversation.
But that partly is the reason as to why I wouldn't go Rodgers over Moyes, because I think Moyes to take West Ham to Europa League football is more impressive than Rodgers to get Europa League football again with Leicester. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like, I think so. Because Leicester are always they're up there anyway. Do you know what I mean? I would now expect next season Leicester to finish in the top 6 if I'm looking at Leicester next season.
See, again, I think that's disrespectful. I think top 4. I think they've consistently been.
No, you would hope they can but you wouldn't bet on them to finish top 4 because it's.
But what I'm saying is, if they did hit that top 4, then Rodgers would have been clear for manager of the year.
Yeah,
with the FA Cup as well.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
But that's the thing. I don't think the FA Cup counts in this. I think it's just about league campaign, league performance. I think that's why Pep's ended up taking it, because he's won the league. Usually, when the manager wins the league, he usually takes it. Did Chris Wilder win it when Sheffield United finished in Europa League places? I can't remember. What? Did he win manager of the year? Did he get that?
No.
No, he didn't, did he? Yeah, no. Even still.
No, they didn't finish in Europa League places. I think
they just missed out. Yeah,
I think they finished like 7th. I'll pull that up now.
Yeah, I think
they were just outside it, but they were there for the majority of the season.
They was just like West Ham with Champions League football. To be fair, they were there for a while, long time, then just fell off. Which, to be honest, this does tend to happen a lot. Every single season, someone's overachieving. They're looking like they're going to do madness, and then they just fall off. Unfortunately for them. Blue Moon M14 Monstar's going to be joining us in a couple of seconds. Just letting him set up. Saj, are you a blue? Of course he is. How would he be on this show if he wasn't? Do you know what I'm saying? Chelsea on the left, Man City on the right. You can just see the badges.
I'm the good blue. I'm the turquoise blue. None of that.
No. This is the royal blue. Yeah. We laid out the blueprint for you guys. See that blueprint? We laid out the blueprint for you to follow.
Are terrible, fam.
Players picked this award, not the media. That's why I'm so disappointed in the colleagues. You man have watched the game and you still thought De Bruyne was the best. Seriously. You man should hold your head in shame. Honestly. Disgrace. Nick Toll says, hi, mate. Here's my take on it. Kevin De Bruyne does have the best quality in the Prem. If you don't look at the stats, assist ratio by far the best if you don't look at the stats. And that's why the players voted for him. I get that he's the best player in the league. I get that. I think Harry Kane comes a close second, potentially as well, although it is very close between them in terms of quality. Because now that Harry Kane's kind of turned himself into a playmaker as well, it is very close. But for this season, I don't believe it's close. And yeah, I mean, listen, the player's always going to have a different perspective. They're on the pitch actually playing the game, and maybe they're picking who was most difficult they came up against. And a lot of the players
also a certain level of bias is in that, you know.
Do you think so?
You can't vote for yourself, but you can vote for other people in it. I feel like Kevin De Bruyne is quite liked amongst the league.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. Do you know what it is? You know when Harry Kane, just before I bring Monstar in, when Harry Kane is leading with his elbow into people, and that, I'm not gonna lie to you, that could be the difference between you picking up a PFA player of the year or not. Because if you've gone and elbowed Mandem in their head, you know when he's going up for headers and he's doing it, or sometimes he's also like backing into players and then they're like jumping, going up for header, he's backing into it and maybe causing an injury risk. These are the things that might define. Do you know what I mean? These are the things that might come into it. So actually, I'm not really too surprised now that I think about it. Harry Kane's a little bit of a diver as well. All right, I'm starting to see it. Monstar's in the building.
Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah.
What we saying, boys?
We're good. We're just discussing the madness that's taken place today because, I mean, I guess you've seen it. Kevin De Bruyne picks up PFA Player of the Year. Phil Foden takes PFA Young Player of the Year. We know Diaz also took Footballer of the Year as well for the FWAs. How you feeling about that, bro?
Young Player of the Year, that has to go to Mount. Who was it? The Players Player of the Year. It was the Players Player of the Year they gave.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
De Bruyne, nah. I feel like if it's not gonna be Diaz, then it has to be Kane or Gundogan. Like it has to be those two. I don't think De Bruyne necessarily. De Bruyne had good numbers. I feel like it was deservedly so him being in the 11, but not the Player of the Year. No, it was Kane or Gundogan or Diaz. I know a lot. I know a lot of Chelsea players or Chelsea fans would want Mount to be in there or Mount to win Player of the Year. No, although he was probably our most consistent or best player this season, we were bad.
You don't think Chelsea were shagged in Team of the Year in any way, shape, or form? Because we did have the second best defense in the league.
We was madness.
We were bad. Let me tell you this: we did have. You're right. We had the second best defense in the league. If you're looking at 5 positions, right? 2 centre backs, 2 full backs, and a goalkeeper.
Maybe
who had the best? Sneaky. Who had the best defense in the league?
Manchester City, wasn't it?
Well, there you go. That's why 4 of their players are in there. And then the last person, the left back, Shaw was the best left back in the league this season by far. Chilwell, he had a good start. Remember, he missed the first few games due to injury.
Yeah,
then had a good start. And then fell off in the middle when Lampard was just when Lampard was about to leave, and then Tuchel came in. He was poor, and then he started to rise towards the end.
He had to adapt to that left wing back spot as well, so he did miss a few games.
Yeah,
well.
And Shaw was brilliant this year. He was actually so good. So to say Chilwell deserves to be there, that's just our Chelsea bias. He didn't deserve to be there.
So you would not put any Chelsea players in it?
Who are you going to put in there? Over who?
I feel like Mason Mount could have crept in.
To read out the team
over
who real quick.
Over who?
Go on, Saj.
Okay, so let me just read it out just in case anybody doesn't understand. Team of the Year this year: Edison, Man City, and goalkeeper Cancelo, right back,
correct.
Man City. That one is a little bit debatable. Ruben Diaz, centre back, along with Stones, Man City. Left back Luke Shaw, central midfielder, Kevin De Bruyne. Central midfielder, Gundogan, Man City, Bruno Fernandes, central attacking midfielder, and and he's been good. And then Harry Kane, forward, along with Mo Salah. And this one kind of surprised me, but when you think about it, it makes sense. Heung-min Son
deserves to be there.
It does.
Had a crazy year.
He's had a terrible year, the calendar year though. He has fallen off quite a bit, hasn't he?
No, he had a crazy year, man. He had a crazy year.
No, statistically, he was brilliant at the start of the season, but I do feel like Son's dipped off as the season's gone on, though, don't you think?
Yeah, he dipped off. Tottenham lost the whole manager and gained a whole new one.
All right, so someone argued with me on Twitter saying, "Oh yeah, I can give you times where, these guys scored and assisted and they gave 5 out of 10s and blah blah because they wanted Mount in the team." And I was like, "Do I need to bring up times where Mount dropped 5 out of 10s?" Like, people see the argument for other people, for other players, they don't see the argument for their own. So you could say them lot dropped stinkers, but what about when our players drop stinkers? Are you forgetting about that? There's a reason why we struggled to get 4th, because in the Prem we were shit. Like let's not act like we didn't creep into 4th. I know we won the Champions League, but this is not the Champions League Player of the Year. This is the Premier League Player of the Year. Sorry, not the Champions League Team of the Year. It's the Premier League Team of the Year. You have to take your biases aside. We were rubbish.
Can we talk about?
We were rubbish.
Can I just add though, just before you do, because I got to read out this super chat as well. Monstar, do you not feel like minutes played comes into this? Because the reason why maybe Thiago Silva isn't getting a look in is because he missed out a decent chunk for injury, which is fair. Yeah. If he had played the whole season, I would have bet my hat on it that he would have been in over Stones for me personally.
Oh yeah,
in terms of an individual.
100%.
Mason Mount's minutes in comparison to what Foden minutes played is crazy. It's crazy.
But if you're talking about Young Player of the Year, I already said that should be Mason Mount, guaranteed. Okay, He should have won that over Foden. I'm talking about the Team of the Year. Team of the Year.
I disagree.
No, he listen. Mason Mount played the whole season. Like how many games? I think Foden played like.
Yeah, but okay, but then this is the thing. Are we talking? Is it okay? Because Matisse has a barrier of 80 to 90% minimum to get you in the team. Are we talking about that? Or are we talking about impact amongst the squad, performances? Because like, can you? Okay, my thing. Can you play less than 75% of the games in the season, but have crazy impact and still win an award at the end of the year? Because Matisse has a boundary of 80%, nothing less.
With Mason Mount, it's different to me. He just deserves that young player of the year. Obviously, he played a lot of minutes. I think Mason Mount probably played the most minutes this season out of everyone in the league. Do you get what I mean?
Oh,
yeah, he played. I don't know. I might be wrong. He did play a lot of minutes.
Did he play the most for Chelsea though?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, bruv, are you mad? Now I'm remembering the entire. Bruv, Mason Mount was like Lampard's golden child, bruv. This brother played every game to the point where back when I'm sorry, do you know why? Yeah, I forget Lampard was part of that season, innit? Bruv, Matisse was complaining at points about why is Mount not being given rest. I'm talking
because he was overusing him, 100%.
Way overusing.
Him.
Yeah, he played dumb games.
A lot of games. Let me just read this out. 88 Bus Stop says, I see Monstar and Man in the stream. I support and listen. Big up yourself, bro. I really appreciate that. But I agree with Monstar. Consistently doesn't equal best. I vote Foden as a deep blue. Fair enough. I feel like, yeah, I mean, it depends where your threshold is in terms of minutes played and how much you value that in terms of how many times you need to be out on the pitch. Because then, to a more extreme case, people, in Big Six were bringing up Lingard and Willock and them like that.
Miss me with the Lingard thing, bruv. He did it for 7 games, bruv.
Half of the season, man.
He did it for 7 games, bruv. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't count.
Lingard has scored more outfield goals than Bruno.
I would love for Silva to be in there. I think he was so brilliant in it.
Bro, yeah, he was.
But then
as a Man City fan, yeah, this right back won.
No, Cancelo deserves to be in there. I'm sorry. He deserves.
I feel like I'm not saying he doesn't. I feel like we can put candidates up.
Who, Kyle Walker?
I'm not saying Man City candidate. I'm saying I feel like we can find.
Someone said Kufal.
That's a shout.
Yeah, that's a shout.
I feel like
you know what? In the centre back position, you could even say that you can add the fridge in there. Harry Maguire. I know I diss him a lot, but he's actually. You could put him in there on a real. You can. He's actually had a good season. So could you put Fofana in there as well?
You don't think? What about your right backs? You don't think none of your right backs?
No. They've been good, but they've not been consistent. None of Remember, we've been rotating them as well. At one point,
rotating.
At one point, it was Callum Hudson-Odoi. Nah, our players. I just give it to people real, man, because. Like the way I look at it, when we come to the Champions League team of the season, and you're gonna hear me raving. When it comes to the Premier League team of the season, I just thought Chelsea this year was so poor. We were poor, man. We can't forget how poor we've been. So I don't think it's right to reward these players with these accolades, considering how bad we've been in the Prem.
Last one, I just want to slap it out. I don't know if you want. I'm not saying anything. I just want to just for the sake of conversation. Salah, bruv.
He deserves
very
to be
top, very, very strong start, and then just slowed as the season went on, bruv. And then kind of finished kind of strong.
The thing is with Salah, even when they were poor, he was still at times scoring. Like Salah was still doing his thing. It's not his fault that the rest of his teammates like Mane and Firmino were poor. I think Salah's put in an underrated, crazy season. Like it's so underrated, man. He actually deserves to be in there.
He's been packing in the goals, but look, there's been times where I've been watching, I've been like, yo, this is like, there was a run. Remember that run where Liverpool didn't score for like 6 home games in a row? He was dreadful in that run. Now, over the course of a season, he definitely deserves to be in it for me as well. But I do feel like sometimes Salah in games, he does go missing and then he does pop up with a goal, which is kind of what Bruno Fernandes does as well. And he's obviously going to be in the team of the season as well. So... Yeah, I mean, he's got, again, it's the output, isn't it? There's a balance between the output and the general play. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's always going to be an output.
I mean, I've had this argument with people as well. As people will say, "Oh yeah, Bruno drops stinkers, but he just scores goals and assists." But I'm like, bro, Like
Kind
we
of
can
a
bring
job,
up
innit?
how many points this guy has won Man United just off those goals and assists, and people say, "Oh, well, they're penalties." And I'm like, you as a Chelsea fan, who's a biggest supporter of Frank Lampard, you cannot bring penalties to the table because he scored a lot of penalties himself. You know,
Yeah.
penalty, and at the end of the day, penalties are goals that win games. So
This ain't FIFA, man.
yeah, they
I'll
win
be
games.
talking about, no, don't sweaty, bro. This ain't
Don't
FIFA.
sweaty, bro. Don't
It's
sweaty.
people
Real
bringing
footballers
up,
can sweat, bro. If real footballers can sweaty, they're going to sweaty, bro. You think
bro.
I care?
Like I've said this, yo, Saj, I've said this a million times. Listen,
Mm.
if I could get Bruno in my team, because if I can get someone with Bruno's numbers, or even put Bruno in the team right now to elevate us, we'll be in a better place. Like, who are we as Chelsea fans to mock Bruno putting up 20 something and over 10 assists? When have you seen what our players have put up?
Do you know, I'm
Have
going
you
to go one
seen?
further, yeah. As a Man City fan, I feel like I got hate for him because I know he's that good, innit, bro? We all know he's that good, and it burns us to have someone that
To be
consistent
honest,
on
I'm
penalties.
not talking shit, but a lot of the goals are penalties. A lot of them. Let's
Doesn't
be
matter,
real,
bro.
Or they
I'm
win
not,
games.
and I'm not. Like I
the
said,
thing.
I agree with you that I agree with you that the point of penalties, you know, it shouldn't be taken out because, of course, you still need to put the ball in the back of the net. But Lampard wasn't just about putting in penalties; he did have
He's
range
not.
to
And
his
that's
goals
cool. But remember,
in
Man
open
United-
play. In open play,
This thing, listen, I'm being real. Man United went from having a penalty taker crisis,
you've got one yourself.
bro. Yeah, we do, but they really had. Nah. I think Kevin De Bruyne when he's, bro, we should have just
Nah,
never.
you've
given
got
it
a
to him.
crisis, man. I've seen your penalty record. It's actually ridiculous.
It's
nuts.
terrible. It's terrible.
It's mad how bad it is.
Kevin De Bruyne pops them away, bro. No,
Why
Mahrez
is he
is
always taking
struggling with them.
huh? Yeah, I know. No,
Mahrez.
we shouldn't be giving. Yeah, we shouldn't be giving them to anyone but Kevin. But what I'm saying is, Man United went from a penalty crisis where they were arguing amongst the team because Pogba and Rashford were missing penalties to getting Bruno in, and Bruno's just putting them away. That this is,
Bro,
you
listen,
can't be
like
mad
I
at him
said
for doing the
before,
job.
I don't care if they're penalties or whatever. If my team can get a player that scores those many goals and provides those many assists, maybe we would have been second. Do you
I
know
don't
what
think
I mean?
we're gonna get as many penalties as Man United do. I can't lie.
Maybe not, but I'm just saying, like,
Our players
listen,
are a bit too honest in the box.
if
you know what I
you
mean?
listen, do you know how many listen, like
This
you
Bruno
know
slander
how
that
many
is
chances we
wild,
missed.
bro.
You know how many
Because do
chances
you know
we
why?
missed.
And again, I'm not shitting on him, but Bruno, yeah, he's a very hot and cold guy in general play. He can be having he can go missing for 80, 85 minutes. Yes, he'll
Someone's-
turn up with the goal last minute. But what I'm trying to say to you is
That's all I need.
it's not
Someone's
yeah,
just got
but
mad.
listen, you say that until he's on your team and then you got to watch
bro,
it and then you're against
some-
Villarreal and he's
listen.
dropping a stinker. Do you know what I mean? It's
Please,
like,
you want me to give you a perfect example of when that happened with us? If 2012 semi-final against Barcelona, the first leg. Everyone talks about the second leg. No one remembers what happened in the first leg. Drogba was dropping an absolute stinker, an absolute shocking performance. And out of the blue, he pops up with a goal. He wins the game. There you go. No one cares about the stinker anymore. Drogba spent half of the game on the floor diving. Yeah. The Chelsea fans were frustrated as hell because all he was doing was trying to buy fouls. And at the end of the game, bro, he pulled up with the subs.
There's
No one cares
there's
anymore.
pros and cons to a guy like Bruno because with what he does in general play at times with not being able to make the easy pass and whatnot, it can cost you goals when he gives the ball away so many times a game. We've seen it with Ziyech, who hasn't got the same output, of course, as Bruno, but Ziyech gives away possession a lot. Do you know what I mean? And that's frustrated Chelsea fans at times this season. So would I, just because we're struggling with scoring goals, would I now take a Bruno? Probably not, if I'm honest. I need someone in general play.
Respectfully, you're nuts, bro.
No, I'm not nuts because I know where a large chunk of his goals have come from. They've come from penalties. And then in open play, he's still been very good.
Yeah, someone said he only got 9 goals from open play. He's not.
That's still good. That's still good.
Yeah, I know. He's not.
But he is more of a Dele Alli type. He's not playing in a box-to-box midfielder role. Man United.
Where is this slander coming from?
It's not slander. I'm just trying to add some perspective because you guys act like
very-
as if he's like a world beater or something.
I'm not saying he's a world beater. He
You
does
said
a
something
job.
very true. Yeah, you said. Wait, what was the point you made before? I just forgot.
My point is that he's playing in a Dele Alli type role that Poch used at Dele Alli, which was kind of to get goals and assists. That was kind of his job. Although he's not playing up front, for me, his role is probably more attacking than Firmino's role at Liverpool. If we're being honest.
Here's the thing, though.
The point you made was that he loses the ball a lot, right?
A lot, yeah.
Okay. Most of the issue Chelsea have is a lot of our players, they don't take the risk, right? If you look at most of the big players that generally do the most wonderful things on the pitch, it's down to them taking risks. And a lot of the times when you look at numbers of all the big players, their numbers in terms of passing accuracy and things like that are actually quite low because they take that risk, and a lot of the times they lose the ball due to that. And that's what Bruno is. He takes.
But when you watch him, though, it's some very simple things that he can't execute. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where the frustration will come in. Blue Moon saying Foden 28 goals, 28 goals. Games. 28 games, nine goals, 5 assists, more consistent amount. All right, cool. Like I said, for the minutes played, Foden has been brilliant. My issue is not with him being consistent in terms of what he's done on the pitch. I'm just talking about how much of the time he's been on the pitch in comparison to make a team of the season. That's really where my argument comes into it. But Foden is not really my main gripe. Of course, I would have liked Mount to win it, but it's not a big deal. My massive deal would be Kevin De Bruyne winning Player of the Year. I just think that's completely undeserved.
It's just
crazy.
Eating Fernandes.
Who did it? I mean, Batiste, who did you want to win it? Who did you want to win
for Player of the Year?
Yeah,
I think Diaz is more deserving.
Yeah, I don't know.
Harry Kane is way more deserving as well.
Oh yeah,
there's so many players that are more deserving of Kevin De Bruyne for Player of the Year. In my opinion,
too.
Gundogan probably as well. Do you know what I mean? I really don't think Kevin De Bruyne deserves to win Player of the Year. I really don't. Famous is saying Bruno has over 50 goal contributions this season, 4th open play goals in the Premier League, 4 EPL Player of the Months, highest goals scored by a midfielder in EPL history.
I think that's in one season.
That's all cool.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this guy's numbers, like, since he's come to the Premier League, his numbers are just disgusting, man.
It's impressive. It is impressive.
Yeah, like, I can't lie. Like, I'm a bit jealous because
do you know what?
Knowing how much we've struggled this season, we need someone with that kind of output. I can't even sit here and lie to you, man.
Maybe they should just use him as a striker and not a midfielder.
It won't work. It won't work.
You know, then sometimes our fans will be like, oh yeah, let's just throw Marcus Alonso up front. Maybe we should just throw Bruno Fernandes up front. Do you know what I mean? Maybe.
This is
Werner, if he had scored all his chances.
Quickly the Bruno thing, because explain something, because I don't quite understand.
Yeah,
if Bruno missed these penalty opportunities, this conversation wouldn't even be happening.
Okay, cool, but we're not talking. But he didn't miss. I'm not hating on for a scoring. I'm just trying to put into perspective that just because you bang in loads of penalties, it doesn't mean that what you're doing during the 90 minutes in general play can just be held into high esteem. You need to watch what's actually happening on the pitch. How many attacks are you killing? Do you know what I'm saying as well? So for me, when you take away his penalties out of his stats, then kind of judge him on that. Not because I don't rate the penalties, but because I wanna get a scope of what he can do on a football pitch without the penalties, because one day the penalties might not be there.
Is this cap or not cap? Because people are saying some stuff and then I'm reading this.
Yeah, cool.
You gotta use context with some of the numbers.
Exactly. Let me flip this for both of you, yeah. Because if you took Lampard off penalties and you took Gerrard off penalties at Liverpool, you still have a fantastic player. Let's keep it a buck. If you take Bruno Fernandes off penalties at Manchester United and just tell him, do your thing, what are you getting from him? Are you getting that level? No, I'm not saying he's gonna be a bum, but I'm asking you, if you take him off penalties and you give those penalties to a striker, which I know Saj is something that you're in favor of personally, if you used to put yourself in charge of a team, if you take him off of penalties and just say to him, I just want to see what you're doing on the pitch, I'm going to give the penalties to someone else and they're going to convert just as well as him, so you're not not detriment to the team. Take him off penalties. Are you still talking about Bruno Fernandes in the same regard that you talk about him right now?
Yes and no. He's still a great passer of the ball, bro. He's still a great playmaker.
He's not a great passer of the ball.
He's not a great passer. You don't think
not a great passer of the ball.
In the final third, you don't think so, no?
Batiste, you're not gonna. If you have a team, you're not gonna do that though, are you? Like, you're going to play to his strengths regardless, isn't it? So
yeah, of course you're gonna play to his strengths. I'm just saying, in open play, take the penalties out of it. How are you rating him? Are you still rating him at the same level? Because if you are, then that's a cool. That's the discussion over. But if you're in any way telling me that he's less of a footballer, then it's a different discussion. Because it's not wild. You couldn't, because I'm telling you right now, Chelsea fans, if Lampard was to come off penalties, I'm not taking anything away from his passing ability. I'm not taking anything away from that.
But this is the thing. This comparison is kind of unfair. You're literally going with some of the best players that ever play in the Premier League.
That's who he's getting compared to. Monstar damn well seen it on Twitter. That's who he's getting compared to. He did smash the record, so that's who he's getting compared to. So if you're gonna, this is what I'm saying. The ceiling for Bruno is very, very high. I'm not saying he's not a very, very good footballer, but when you start comparing him on Twitter to Gerrard and Lampard, that shit better be able to hold weight, because now that's what I'm doing. I'm comparing him. That's what I'm comparing him to.
The study size of those two don't even make sense. Them man, Gerrard, I'm like what done 10 plus. Gerrard Lampard 10 plus years in the Premier League. Fernandes ain't done that. Fernandes ain't even done half of that. Like
it probably
you're working off different sample sizes, my brother.
Yeah. The only thing is, obviously with Bruno, his numbers are looking wild. Like they're looking crazy wild, but it's numbers, but like they say, numbers don't lie at the same time, innit?
They do at the same time, though, innit? You can make
numbers do lie sometimes.
You can move now. Again, I've never understood that thing. You can move numbers around to say a lot of things, bro, that isn't really the case, but it is what it is.
Do you know what the numbers I look at as? The number when it comes to Bruno, I don't just look at his goals and assists. I tend to look at, okay, how many points has he won for Man United with those goals and assists? And the numbers are astounding. I can't lie. They are astounding.
See, because I would even go one.
Someone just said he can't pass a passer. What's wrong with you people?
Because with me, when it comes to Bruno, I'm like, what effect does he have in the team, bro? He has a monumental effect, bro.
See, that's the problem there.
He makes man around him better.
He scores against bums, but bro, like to me, no Premier League team is a bum. If it's winning 3 points, bro, you need that. G, do you get what I mean? I'm sorry. One thing we struggled with was we struggled against low block teams who some people call bums. Do you get what I mean? Like,
and
to me,
you've seen this. If
it's in the Prem and it's winning points.
Do you really think he makes players around him better?
I think he does, bro.
Not all players do, though. There's better players.
I know, but that's what Saz just said. And I feel like you said that too confidently. I don't know if I really.
It does, man.
I don't know. I think Pogba's more of the person who makes players around him.
I would agree, yeah.
I think part of Man United's system's problem is...
I'm talking like leadership. I'm not even talking like on field.
He's quite a good leader for Man United. He is. He's actually, you know what I mean? He's a good leader.
Man came in and he
motivates the team.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, he motivates the team. He can't lie. He does motivate that Man United.
A lot of people are saying he doesn't turn up in the big games as well, which is an interesting point. He's turned up in a couple, I think, but... Villarreal, you know, I think everybody was just poor against Villarreal. Do you know what I mean? So
famous D Rothschild, thank you for the super chat. If you take his penalties, he still.
I honestly wouldn't take
goals.
Bruno, but cool.
He still has 10 goals.
So he's still now 10 goals is good. 10 goals is really good.
Solid.
So you're saying,
but it's not 18. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm okay. I understand. But that's still solid.
Right now.
It's nearly half, by the way. It's nearly half of his goals. Sorry, Monstar.
Wait, so you're saying right now, in our team, considering how we lack goals and things like that, you're giving Bruno and you say no?
Yeah, I'm not taking Bruno, no, because I think he's a midfielder. Unless you guys are telling me Bruno's starting up front as a striker, then no. I think Chelsea need a striker. The way that we play, I'm not looking for a Bruno to come in and disturb our midfield, which I do like our midfield quite a lot. So where would Bruno play in our team, in our current formation, which I would like to keep? Where would you play Bruno, just off the striker?
I don't know. He can play one of those 10s behind the striker. He can.
Personally, not taking
that would actually be perfect for him.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sticking with Mount and Havertz in their development. I'm keeping with them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You still on this Werner wave? Fair enough.
Werner? What do you mean Werner wave? I didn't mention. I didn't mention Werner. I mentioned Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. What are you talking about? There's different ways to structure a team. Do you know what I mean? It's like asking me, would I take it's not like asking that, but it's like, would I prefer to go back to the days of Eden Hazard where it's a very lopsided team, or would I prefer to build a team equally all around the pitch? You can build your team with a Bruno where the team go through him and everything goes through him and it's very heavily reliant on him winning the games. Or you can build a team that is quite equally balanced like a Manchester City. There's different ways to structure your team. I would personally prefer to build a team. Now, would Bruno Fernandes go into that Manchester City team? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Why? Because he's just not... He's not efficient enough in terms of the ball retention. He give it away too much. He would. He's not a good enough passer of the ball. He's not a good enough passer of the ball to play for Manchester City. He's not.
Well, Man City wanted Werner. What's Werner?
No, they didn't. Did they actually? No, that was Liverpool.
No, they did want Werner. Werner even spoke about Pep wanting him and calling him. So how would that have worked out? You never know.
Do you mean it would have been back up to Aguero if Aguero never got injured?
I don't know how Werner would have played in that Manchester City team.
We would have made it work, bruv.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But we have
you
the players
never
to
know,
cover up
man.
his
You
weaknesses.
never know.
So.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think Bruno's that good, like this amazing player or anything. I'm just saying, like, right, who am I as a Chelsea fan right now to say no to that kind of player? Being how we have struggled, like we labored our way.
How does Bruno play for Portugal? I'll be very interested to see in the Euros. How does he play? I mean, it's a completely different setup, isn't it?
That system's a bit of a changing system. So it's kind of like,
oh yeah, someone
right
said
now,
it there. Man City did want Fred as well. So what are you saying?
Yo, Man City are bookie, man. What are you, man?
I mean,
doing?
want everyone, but that's the Man City way, bruv. Don't be hitting me with that, bro.
Yo, someone says Man City never won in Vernon. So they did. They did.
I don't remember that.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Liverpool, brother.
No, they did. Liverpool wanted him, but City wanted him as well. He actually spoke about it.
This is a super chat here.
Ashwin Sunder, real quick. Lampard has 170 plus goals and 100 plus assists. Remove the pens, which is 30, maybe. Still 140 goals for a MF. Sit down, Bruno Fernandes fans. Lampard scored 20 plus one and
he didn't just take that 30 bullshit.
Okay,
because it says I'm looking at it now and he scored 60, but he did miss a couple. Okay, so he took 70 pens, he missed 10 and scored 60.
Okay,
is that not a big number?
Out of 100%, but
out of 60 out of 170, that's a large. I'm not trying to compare the two. But 60 out of 170, that's a lot of penalties, bro.
It's a lot.
So that's what I'm saying.
And if he wasn't, but in general play, I'm taking, Lampard is light years ahead of Bruno, in my opinion.
He is. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm not. Yeah. If Bruno was brilliant in general play, then I wouldn't have this gripe. Do you know what I'm saying? But when you're looking at a footballer differently after taking the penalty out of it, then becomes a little bit hairy. I'm not saying he's not a good footballer, but I don't. Saying, like I said, he's not.
When people say Bruno's a penalty merchant and things like that, I'm just like, how? Like Lampard scored a lot of penalties. Gerrard scored a lot of penalties. Like penalties is part of the game. Penalties win you points.
I think it just pisses people off because he actually puts them away, bro.
Yeah, as Chelsea fans, bro, we won our first Champions League on penalties. Why the fuck are we complaining? Like, why are we chatting shit? Oh, he's a penalty merchant, bro. Penalties win you games.
The only time that I don't like the penalty thing with Bruno is where last 10 minutes, Fergie time just comes out of nowhere, something mysterious happens, bam. Like, who remembers this season? The game it must have been this season where the full-time whistle went. And then
don't piss me off,
bruv.
That was Man United against was it?
This is what. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's because Man United so many penalties they have not deserved.
I feel like nobody spoke about that, bruv.
I remember like Bruno tripping over his own feet against Aston Villa.
It was in the last minute, and then the whistle went, but the foul took place just before the whistle, and then VAR called the game.
Yeah, they called it back. It was a Brian game. It was a Brian game. That was ridiculous.
It was
a deserving penalty. I can't even lie.
It was, but I was like,
I've never seen that in my life.
I didn't know once the whistle went, you could reinstate the game.
Oh, that was the first time ever. That's the first time ever, bro.
I was like, I didn't know VAR had that power. That was, bro. The last season, there was some crazy moments.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's funny. Do you know what I love? Yeah, because someone said I'm being jealous. I'm just looking at Man United from a perspective of you're a bit of a fugazi, right? Because shout out Rio Ferdinand. He came out and said Manchester United have not only closed the gap on Liverpool now, they've overtaken them because they finished ahead of them in the league. Man United fans, you can't have it both ways. Either you have been a bit lucky this season with the amount of penalties you've won, and you're not as good as second place, and you don't think you're as good as that, and you haven't improved that much, therefore you're Ollie out, or you deserve all the penalties. You have leapfrog Liverpool. You are the second best team in the Premier League, and therefore Ollie has improved you, and you should stick it out. You can't have it both ways. So I'm just looking for a little bit of consistency from Man United fans because you can't have it both ways. You can't.
Bruv. The back and forth on the Ollie situation, I think he's made the club better. I think just because his name isn't up there in lights, the disrespect that Ollie gets, despite trying constantly to make the team better, it's kind of disgusting. More importantly, this brother is what I mean shoestring budgets that he's doing it on. I'm talking this brother's like bargain basement. Like the Glazers ain't giving him nothing.
What do you mean bargain basement? Did he not splash?
Bargain basement.
Was he not the one that splashed the 80 million on Harry Maguire? Or was it someone else?
No, that one.
No, that was Ollie.
Pretty sure that was him.
No. I'm pretty sure that was the Glazers.
It was the Glazers, but
yeah, okay, but
Ollie was in charge, no? When
but that wasn't Ollie signing, bro. That was the
he would have signed off.
Why wasn't it? Why wasn't
he
it?
Would have signed off.
Because the Glazers wanted Maguire.
Yeah, but when you say he's penny pinching, how can you be doing?
I'm talking like Diallo. I'm talking like. I know this one might be a bit
Wan-Bissaka as well. I mean, these sound like signings he would have approved. Wan-Bissaka.
I don't think Ollie has that say power over there at United, to be fair.
Okay. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you still have to make it work in it. If whether they're your players or not, that's your job as a manager to make it work.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like he's not really been given like this.
He's done all right though. I can't lie. He's done all right.
Again, this window, I feel like he's going to be given. Diallo cost 40 mil, boy.
Ollie's done all right. He's helped them. They have progress. If you're looking at just progress,
Van der Beek cost 40 mil as well. God,
I'm just saying. Listen, you said penny pinching. I'm just saying that's not quite correct, sir. Do you know what I mean?
They spent, bro. They spent.
I think Bruno might be under his tenure too. I don't know.
Bruno is under his tenure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Last time I checked, Bruno is also under his tenure.
Cost 40 mil. Is that 40 mil?
Famous says none of Chelsea player, including attack, has 10 goals. Yeah, listen, Jorginho is our top scorer.
Tammy probably would have got more, bro, if they were using him.
We're linked with Neto. Are we though, or is that just silly links? Monstar.
Nah, not that I've seen.
Yeah, I don't think we're linked with Neto. I don't like to talk about stuff that's not really real. If just the Daily Mail,
that Aubameyang link is fake. It's not real. Someone put out an opinion on the I think it was the Telegraph, and all the big Arsenal accounts just ran with it and started to say, "Oh, Chelsea are interested in Aubameyang." Yeah, they can keep dreaming.
I think I only really like talking about serious concrete interest, and Neto's never been a name that's come up in discussion with me. Now, when it comes to Chelsea's just winger situation in general, if you want a winger, I think you'd be pretty clever to either go and get a Grealish who's above the age of a Pulisic.
Apparently, apparently it's already done.
Yeah, but apparently he's going to Manchester City, or you go and get someone world class.
Is that already
like a Sancho?
Apparently, this is why Aston Villa's moving how they're moving. Signed. Apparently, they're going to sign Ward-Prowse, and they signed what's his brother's name again? I always get it wrong. Buendia. Yeah. Apparently, that money's already. Apparently, this is what a lot of people are saying. This is why Aston Villa are already bringing in replacements, which is dope. You lose
smart, just like Leicester with Samari, very clever. Yeah.
Ward-Prowse I like
it when clubs
underrated.
I can't believe they pinched Samari, man.
I love it when clubs. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like the brain cells, as you get closer to the top of the Premier League, diminish. Do you know what I mean? Like the mid-table clubs got to manage their money. They got to be clever. They got to scout. And, you know, they Southampton, for instance, really good at it. Leicester, not really mid-table, but, you know, in terms of finances, maybe mid-table finances.
I swear,
Aston Villa.
Monster says Southampton has one of the best scouting in the league.
Yes,
yeah. I mean, how many players have they brought in and sold off to Liverpool alone in profit? It's ridiculous.
Brilliant players over the years, man. Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale was Southampton, right?
He was. I think he came through. Where did he come through?
It was South.
Even Theo Walcott.
The academy. Theo Walcott, but they're academy guys. I'm talking about your Van Dijks. That's an incredible coup
Van
from
Dijk,
Celtic.
Mane, yeah.
Mane.
Yeah.
Mane.
Wanyama, another great one.
Yeah.
So, you know, famous saying, yeah, Chelsea's highest scorer was Jorginho with 8 penalties. Was it 8 he finished on or 7? I think it was 8.
But that's what I mean, like, and that's what I'm talking about when people try to take penalties away from. It's like, bro, if it weren't for Jorginho scoring them pens this season, and he didn't miss a few as well. If it weren't for him scoring them, where would we be right now? Like, do you get what I mean? Where would we be?
Quickly,
in the Premier League,
Sunder,
Premier League.
I'm not complaining about penalties. Lampard scored only 23 in the Premier League. No way that mug can be compared to Lamps, Scholes, Gerrard are in a different galaxy.
Only people comparing them is obviously
Man United
fans. Yeah.
I heard Cantona comparisons as well, which is interesting.
Oh my god! You're mocking it.
I would take
Vlahovic. I see that in the chat. Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times now.
I would take Vlahovic, scored 21 in Syria. This is the brother that plays for
Would
Fiorentina.
you take? Someone just criticized.
Would you take? This is sorry. This is the brother from Fiorentina. I think he was the third top goal scorer in Serie A. He's 21. He's quite young still. He had a good season. Man says Saj can't read. Man got one word wrong and you criticize. My lord, fam. Oh.
I'm not taking Aubameyang, by the way, even if it was true. Yeah, let's just get that out there right now. We don't need another striker that comes in off the wing but can't really play up front on his own, but also can't really do too much in general play. But nah, we got Werner for that, yeah? No need. Thank you.
Bring me Lukaku,
Jesus.
man.
It's no slander, but man them are getting obsessed.
I said no slander after saying that.
No slander, but man them are very obsessed with the second strikers in this era. And I just need an old-fashioned number 9 does the job, you know what I mean? Top bins every time. Whether you're
Lukaku,
Diego
bro.
Costa,
See him
Lukaku,
today? It was brilliant.
Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Just get me a proper number 9. What he scored today, didn't he, for Belgium?
And yeah, he was brilliant today, man. Good hold-up play. Crashed the bark, I think, a couple times. He's good today, man. Good today.
Man said he's confident, bro. He's confident.
Yeah, he's auditioning
This
for
isn't-
Chelsea, bro.
This ain't a hijab. It's a balaclava. Stop saying
Nah,
that.
that looked like a
Hijab,
ski mask, bro.
It is a ski mask, brother. These men are
Yeah.
saying hijabs now. Now wants to take
He's ready
it
to
off.
ride. He's ready to ride out on the ops straight after this show, bro.
No, bro. There are no ops. It's all love out here. You feel me?
All love out here. All right. So before we move on to internationals, we're going to round off on this PFA debate. We're all good. I mean, I'm guessing the only injustice we're really talking about is De Bruyne. Monstar, who would you have given PFA Player of the Year to if you was a player?
I'm torn between Diaz and Harry Kane.
Yeah, same. I would agree with that.
Torn
Oh,
between-
can we say quickly, big up to Frank Kirby. Fran Kirby.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Frank.
Chelsea.
Big up to
Justice
her.
was
Chelsea's
done.
female player of the year. Big up to her.
Big up to her. That was one that was justified. Chelsea repping there.
I would have given it to Sam Kerr, but same difference. Big up to her.
All right, cool. So let's move on from that. I don't really want to do transfer talk right now
This is
because
gonna get toxic.
this is where the conversation gets heated again. Because a certain Gareth Southgate, the England talk's coming. You're damn straight. I took it out of the thumbnail because I run out of characters. And maybe if Big Steve doesn't get her in time, I'll be able to put it back in and take his name out. But England. Let's not even talk about the Romania game yet, because that was a farce. That was disgusting. I don't know if you watched it, Monstar. I kind of had to tune in. You watched the whole
Horrible.
thing? Blessings.
Horrible, the whole thing.
Jesus
My
Christ.
bruv, I said it before. And I think I said it last week on this. What Gareth Southgate does to Jadon Sancho, I
Criminal.
said it last week.
No, it's
and
not
I
just
keep
Jadon
saying
Sancho,
it, bro.
it's the whole
Bruv.
squad. Like,
Bruv.
bro,
This brother
listen.
just-
My frustration doesn't come from just Southgate. My frustration, because I know how bad coaching is in England. It's not. It doesn't start with Southgate, bro. It's from grassroots.
What did I say,
Problems
Matisse?
from
What did I say?
grassroots.
What did I
and
say?
The FA. It's when I've been seeing this for years. Like
Oh,
I
bruv.
remember Euro 2004 where I went to Euro 2004. England had the most talented of squads you can ever imagine. And although we should have beat Portugal, you know, the referee with a shocking decision blowing a foul after John Terry had fouled Sol Campbell, his own teammate, to get a header to score. Or was it Campbell that fouled John Terry? The other way around.
Yeah.
But maybe we could have won that one. But even when we played France, the way they beat us in the group stage, in the last 2 minutes, Zidane just he outclassed us in it, and Beckham missed a penalty. But this
You should
England
have saw
team,
Matisse in the 32-minute. So the commentator, because we're watching in different rooms, so I can hear Matisse.
Yeah.
But I hear the commentators like, "Oh, it's still a young team. They're learning to gel." Matisse
Oh,
shouts
my
out,
God.
"They ain't that
He-
young,
bro,
though, bruv. They're
I
not
got
that
so
young."
triggered. I was so triggered when he said that. And I don't know what it is. Maybe the commentators, obviously, they're very biased. I don't know. But
They
they're
are, but
just, they're
English
still
media, when it
harping
comes
on
to-
with this. It's a young team. I've been hearing England have a young team for what? How many years?
bro. Let me just say this. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. As soon as England meet a decent team at the Euros, we are getting pammed.
Listen,
Like, we are
listen to me.
getting.
Do you know what? I hope we do.
Monster,
because I
me
think
and
then
Matisse,
that last
We
will go.
done
It'll
spoke
go.
about this. This is the cycle when it comes to England, bruv.
Mm.
When it comes to qualifying for these things, you're fighting your Montenegros, your San Marinos, your Cypresses, and we get hyped because you see these men packing in 5, 6, 7-0.
I want to know how the hell Southgate got the job in the first
bruv.
place.
I want to know how he's kept the job this long, bruv. Today, listen to please. I know a lot of men watch today's game, and listen to it with the commentary on. when I mean the commentary were just blatantly lying to make England sound better than they were, it was ridiculous.
Good performance from England, I heard today.
Nah, bruv.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was like, huh?
In that first 65 minutes, yeah, bruv. Let's just not even 65 minutes. Let's
want to go through the ages of this team in a minute,
bruv. We'll do that in a second.
What's the point?
Romania were packing. When I mean they were packing England in, bruv. They had, and I think it was like 4 shots to 1 in the first half. When I mean these men were just, bruv. I don't get what Southgate does.
But these are. It's not even. Forget about just Southgate. These are our Premier League boys. You know, these are Premier League boys getting out. Who was the Chirikas or whatever his name is?
Chirikas and Hadji.
This brother used to play in the Premier League. Chirikas.
Yes, he used to play for Tottenham, if I'm correct.
When I heard that name, I'm like, bro,
if I'm correct, yeah.
I know this brother, fam. He used to play in the Prem. I know that name. And these men are showing.
I think he was one of the brothers in for the. If I'm correct, he was one of the brothers in for the Gareth Bale sell.
The money, the money they used to, when they bought better players,
But also, right? Also, so my issues are not, like I said, they're not just with what happened on the pitch. What happened on the pitch was a joke, but also the indecisiveness from Gareth Southgate has been clear as day with this squad selection, right? So first of all, you're bringing 4 right backs, yeah. So first of all, you haven't got the bollocks to drop one of them and bring in Ward-Prowse into that midfield, which is really deserved. Or even you could say drop a Sterling for a Lingard, who really for England he actually plays really well. Lingard for England, you can see that from the last World Cup, I believe. But also, he's just in better form right now. Sterling's been poor all season, but cool. You want to put Sterling in over.
Pause. Sorry, I know you're rolling teeth. Hit one back. Can we talk about how he got to the squad he got to, bruv?
I don't know. I can't tell you how. Again,
I'm talking man that have been. Bruv.
Player profile plays a big part in getting you into the squad. So the name Raheem Sterling over Lingard sounds like anybody's business. Sounds normal. But Lingard,
bruv.
Lingard, even Lingard for England, in front of his own eyes, since he's been in charge, Lingard has been brilliant for England. That's been where it's been crazy for everybody to see, because then for Man United, he wasn't really getting a look in, or he didn't play too often. For England, Lingard always turned up. He was actually probably better than Sterling for England. And then, forget that for a second, right? You're taking a injured Henderson, but then you're not even bringing Ward-Prowse with him initially. So you've got more right backs than you need. And then you're taking an injured Henderson because he's the captain. But then you're not even going to give
Don't forget, we only have 2 strikers
to compensate. Yeah,
we have 2 strikers, by the way, and
took an injured Harry Maguire as well.
Bruv, this is the thing. We have 2 strikers. Calvert-Lewin almost took a knock today, which would have meant if he got knocked, that means there would have only been 1 main striker.
I'm trying, but I'm honestly trying to understand how Henderson, who hasn't played football for 3 months, is in the England squad, and then telling him I might not be able to play. How's that? How's that work?
Not even that. Today's game was nuts, man. Like Henderson taking the ball off Calvert-Lewin, then missing the penalty. We're talking.
That happens, bro. That happens. I don't think you can necessarily say
like,
too much.
It was hubris, bro.
It happens, bro. Missing penalties, people miss penalties.
Man said Sterling is better. Stop this shit. I'm a Man City fan, so I'm gonna keep it out. $1. If you're telling me
Sterling does have the higher rating on
FIFA. Wow, congratulations, bruv. If we what is the merit to getting into the squad? Is it talent? Is it form?
But also add to this, to your point, right? Grealish is going. He plays left wing. Rashford is going. He plays predominantly left wing. So why does Sterling need to go, who predominantly plays left wing and he's not in form, over Lingard, who plays a bit more centrally? Make it sense to me. Somebody.
Hold on. Would you say Lingard? I mean, not Lingard. What's his name? Grealish plays left wing or left mid?
He plays left mid, but he's killing it.
Not too
much.
He
plays left mid. He plays left mid.
I mean, he could drop deeper, but even Saj during the game was saying, "Yo, get him higher up the pitch." Because then what does he do? He wins a penalty. And then what happens? He wins a penalty immediately.
Makes the substitution. So he makes a substitution that pushes Grealish further up the pitch, and literally the next forward motion play, man gets a penalty.
I don't really want Grealish on the halfway line for me personally. I know he can do it, but I
He's the most creative player. So why
I
would
want
you
him
not
higher up the
unlock-
pitch in the half spaces, making the decisions, drawing fouls in dangerous areas, taking on players, and taking shots. That's what I'd prefer. It's like Hazard. Would you want Hazard on the halfway line? Do you want Hazard in the half spaces? You know what I mean?
Again, it's an easy decision. It's an easy decision. I don't even know what we're talking about. Or can we even go? I understand that some of the players are off, so they're waiting to come into the squad. But can we please talk about with one game, as in one game to go before the start of the competition? Why are so many man them that are not going to play in the tournament playing, bruv? It doesn't make no sense, bro. Are you trying to tell me you wouldn't want to get Harry Kane warmed up for the actual start of the competition? Actually play him. We've got man them that are literally going back home now.
I think that's a lot to do with the fact that a lot of players are from Chelsea and Manchester City, like Chilwell, like Mount, like Stones.
I understand, but there were enough players that are
Walker.
actually going to be in the squad that could have played today. It didn't make any sense, bro.
The whole thing in terms of preparation is a mess, in my opinion. I could already tell just from this, from what I've seen so far, and it's already a mess, in my opinion.
I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't want to give like some players actual playing time just to warm up, just to congeal a bit.
Maybe so, but again, for me,
I almost said risk of injury, but come on, man, like. Okay.
What risk of injury? You're taking brothers that are already injured, so that argument doesn't really even stand up in Southgate's eyes because he's taking brothers that are already injured over players that are fit. It doesn't really make any sense. However, on top of that, though, for me, the reason why I harp on about the indecisiveness of the squad selection is because it just tells me now that when push comes to shove against a top team, when you've got to make finer details, changes during the game to sway the game your way, you're not capable of doing it because that now. That requires bollocks. Do you know what I'm saying? If you got to sub off a big name to change the game tactically in your favor, you've just shown really, I already knew it, but you're not really capable of doing it.
What did I say at halftime? What did I say after halftime? I came into Matisse's room and I said, yo, how did Lampard get fired, but this brother still have a job? It doesn't make sense, bro.
Chelsea's different, bro. Do you think
Roman Abramovich versus
animal,
the FA?
bro? Yeah, Chelsea's a different animal. Listen, if Southgate wouldn't have even made it past his first 2 games. Do you get what I mean?
He would never have been hired in the first place.
Jesus
Christ, yeah,
bro.
exactly. Yeah. So forget about that. Southgate, listen, the thing about England in general, the same guys just get the same jobs, and Southgate.
It's a roundabout, man. It's a roundabout, and I called it, bro.
Surprise me if this
I called it, bro.
A job in.
I don't want to be, bruv. He's English, and he's. Remember, I said I was gonna bring something into this, Matisse. I'm gonna leave it out. We spoke about
bring it in. I know what you're gonna talk.
I'm gonna bring it, bruv. There is a level of complacency in this country, bruv, when it comes to certain things, and I mean, they would rather keep. We all know what it is. We're not gonna say it. We're not gonna say it, but we know what it is.
People like Allardyce, Steve Bruce, they've gotten rid of Padri. You're not really gonna see Padri again, but it's just over and over and over again. They just keep getting jobs, and it's just getting crazy now.
I said it in the comments. We ain't saying it. But
we know what it is. But I think slowly, it's getting it's getting phased out. These guys are getting phased out. It might be a new group. It might be Lampard, Gerrard, and new guys that are gonna just create a new cycle in it. But I don't know. It is crazy though. It is.
Another super chat here from Tuchel Lista. Monstar, spot on about grassroots. There is an anti-intellectualism that is prevalent in the English management. It's why you hear things like it's not about tactics, it's about hard work and passion.
Bruv. It's Harry Kane and Inshallah, bruv. Let's just be real, bruv.
There's a reason why, since the Premier League's been created, and I can't even remember the last time, there hasn't been an English manager. Think about it. In every country, at least a countryman in the last however many years, at least one or more. It's way more, but at least one has won a league that's from that country. England's the only one, and not even close. When's the last time you saw even a even it being close of an England manager coming close to winning the Premier League. When is the last time, bro?
Yeah, it's true. Mr. Playmaker, talk about fans booing the knee.
David Moyes Scottish, bro.
He's Scottish, bro.
You know what they'll do? They'll just treat him the same way they treat Andy Murray, bruv. You know, because England can't produce a good.
Yeah, you start claiming the other ones from the British Isles. Yeah.
And Brendan Rodgers, is Brendan Rodgers not Irish?
He's Northern Irish, yeah.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers is Irish. There's not been an English manager. You can keep naming them, bro.
Keep going, keep trying. Talk about fans booing the knee. Listen, this is
Kevin Keegan. Was it the Prem then? It might have been.
Oh yeah, okay, maybe
close.
Yeah.
Kenny Dalglish?
He's Scottish.
Oh shit! Jesus.
I mean, listen, with the fans booing the knee, this is just at this point, my throat is tired.
Kevin Keegan might be the one.
My throat and voice box is tired of repeating the same things, and this is why when you guys are doing up, Chelsea fans are the most racist, and no, it's Arsenal fans, no, it's Manchester United fans. Look at the statistics. Don't care. It's just England, society in general. But look, when England fans come together, you get the same result. So there you go. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to talk about, to be honest. It's a joke. Don't like it. And it shouldn't be happening, but it is. What more do you want me to say? Do you know what I mean? It's just the norm at this point. I'm afraid. Do you know what I mean? Unless you guys have got anything else to say on it. I was surprised
when Kevin Keegan won it. It wasn't the Premier League, by the way. Football First Division. No, it was the Championship actually. He didn't win it. He came close though. I remember he bottled it.
Apparently, people say Bobby Robson.
Bro, that was before it was Premier League, bro.
I'm just.
You man are just trying too hard. Yeah, if it's this hard for you to reel off names, then there's clearly not a lot of talent in the pool. This is like going through I don't know a nation's players and trying to find a star. Sweden, you can find Zlatan and maybe a couple of others, but you're trying too hard right now.
That's why I was so pissed off when Harry Redknapp had the cheek to come out and I know obviously you might end up into, but I'm not trying to. But when he came out and said what he said about Tuchel in the most disrespectful way,
what did he say?
He was questioning Tuchel's accolades, saying, "Oh, he won this in France, but what's that? It's nothing and blah blah. It's easy and this and that."
Oh God, they love to do it, don't they?
Yeah, well, it was like, bro, like your whole career, you won one. You were coaching for over 30 years, and you won one trophy, an FA Cup with Portsmouth. Fair enough, big up. But there's a reason why no top club ever tried to hire you. When Tottenham hired you, they weren't a big club. They were a mid-table side.
That's a Tim Sherwood.
like, do you get what I mean? And look at it now. Tuchel's come in and he's won the Champions League. So that basically takes a doubt out of everyone's minds, isn't it? It's just
I'm just gonna put it this way, bruv. Please.
In this country, we accept mediocrity.
Mediocrity, bruv, as a
too much,
bruv. No. Bullshit. In this country, we either accept absolute perfection from certain people, and then the level of mediocrity that we allow from some others. Because
listen, I can give you a perfect, most recent example. This is a Chelsea stream, so I don't want the man them to kill me, so I'm not even gonna say it. Do you get what I mean? But I can give you a perfect example of that. Do you get what I mean? Man them was saying, trust the process. If he finishes outside the top four, it's cool.
Don't do this.
You know what I mean? Because it's because
he's English. Because he's super.
You get what I mean? Like, listen, if he doesn't get top four, it's fine.
Don't get me a Stella out the fridge.
And listen, there were some people that came on my stream and said, listen, and they were licking their lips if Tuchel didn't get top four. Some of them were saying it's Tuchel tax already. Like, they were waiting.
I heard that's Tuchel tax.
Yeah, they were waiting. They were waiting. But I'm just saying, innit? It's basically what Saj said, where we accept mediocrity from certain people,
from some, and then
with others.
I'm talking
when it tugs at the heartstrings, everybody can have a little bit of mediocrity in their life. I'm telling you,
joke, bruv. This shit is a joke, bruv. It's a joke, bruv.
Yeah,
it's Harry Kane and Inshallah, bruv. It really is, bruv.
Well, listen, like you predicted, Saj, we're probably not going to get past, whatever round we see a half decent side. So looking forward to that.
Bro, this
it
was
hurts,
Romania.
listen,
And
It doesn't hurt me, Monstar. I can't lie to you.
It hurts me,
I
though.
want.
again,
I want
I don't
England
care.
to do well,
I'm I said
but I don't get
Turkey,
emotional by it. I'm very
I
emotionally
care,
detached.
though, because
I'm not gonna lie to you.
my support for England is just as much as my support for Chelsea, innit?
Is
Okay,
it?
You know what I mean?
okay.
It's-
Okay,
yeah,
I
my
can tell
support
you
for England
when.
is that much.
I can tell you when that. So it was England
Lampard,
versus
goal never
Germany.
crossed the line. Yeah.
Lampard goal
Done.
never crossed the line. I
Checked
will
out.
never to this day. And I remember because I called Matisse right after that game, and I was like, "Bruv, I'm done. I'm just
I had
what do you
football
mean you're
trials
That's
done?
not the
day.
players' fault, though. That's
Done,
the
bruv.
the
I don't
referee.
care. I don't care, bruv. Bruv.
I
when
had football
mean
trials that day. Mentally
put-
checked out.
brother,
Done.
when I mean that put a hole in, man, that I just for 2.5 weeks I couldn't feel. Pause. I couldn't feel. Pause. Done with England, bruv. No, I was like, never again. Last World Cup, it was Croatia. This Euros is
But let's
Turkey, bruv.
let's really let's. Do you know what? Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Done, bruv.
The last World Cup. What the bro? Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
Matisse,
that,
Matisse was talking
that
about
was
it.
not levels like everybody said
a
it was.
fluke.
If
It was the
Yeah,
easiest.
thank
Listen,
you.
I've watched England.
Thank
I've
you.
watched England for years. Yeah, 2002. We had Brazil, the best team in the world, and they beat us 2-1. Do you know what I mean? England played brilliantly. Do you know what I mean? They played brilliantly, but Brazil were just a better team. It was just Ronaldinho, that free kick over Seaman. It is what it is, isn't it? 2006, we lost to Portugal. Wayne Rooney stupidly got that red card. Maybe we could have done better. 2006. 2010. Who did we lose to 2010? It was Germany, right? It was Germany spanked us 4-1.
I remember.
But we were shit.
Yeah.
2018. That was the recent one. 2018 was the recent one. Bro, that was the easiest
teams we were
route.
playing.
I think you
That was
missed
the
2014,
easiest
bro.
Harry Kane stat padding up them penalties.
2014 was the Germany game. 2010 was the Germany game.
2010 was
2014,
the yeah.
we never got out of the group stage in 2014. We were shit. But in the recent World Cup,
we were gassing it because we were drunk. Let's keep it a buck.
yeah, it was just a
We weren't
celebration.
sober,
We were
people.
shit.
I was in Spain going, it's coming home, it's coming, football coming home.
Bro,
With some
And do you know
40-year-old
the
around my
we had
shoulder.
the easiest route
it wasn't
to
a
the
sober.
final.
It was
Couldn't make it.
Do you want to know the
Couldn't
maddest
make
thing?
it.
When we were doing that, yeah, you know, we alienated all other fans by saying it's coming home the entire time. Because if you ask any other fan, they were like, the England's they're super arrogant and super disrespectful.
yeah.
Ralph, this
Bro, I was in Spain. It was sunny. It was hot. Singing football coming home. It's coming home.
Okay,
Like,
let's do
are
it
you
quick.
mad?
Nathan said if England finish first or second, we face the first or second of Group 6, which is Germany, Portugal, France. It's a wrap, bro.
They're calling
Let's
it
just call
Brexit,
it, bro.
Matisse.
Call it, bro. Call it, bro. Call it, bro. Call it, bro. Call
Yo,
it.
that-
I can do a mean Brexit chant, fam. I'm telling you, I
Next.
can do a mean England chant, fam, when I'm drunk. Football coming. I can see me and Monstar singing it now, fam, in the pub.
I was going mad in Shoreditch. Every day England played, I was in Shoreditch. It was packed, bruv. Had like 1 million people in the streets just going mad. But when we lost to Croatia, bruv, in deep down inside, I was kind of like, you know what? I'd rather lose to Croatia than what France are going to do to us in the final if we got there. Do you know what I mean?
So let me ask you, because you said that England, you're wearing it with your chest, which I love. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not
When it
wearing
starts
it,
to get to the latter stages, I do get a bit excited because I feel like if England did win something, it might bring out of an emotion in me
And they
that's
finished
not...
fourth and they gave him a tube station, bruv. Come on, man. Don't miss me, bro. Imagine if he won, bruv. Come on.
But I feel like I'm one of these like maybe closet England fans right now where I do want them to do well, but it's not bait because my emotional attachment's gone. But if they did get to a final or semi-final, I would suddenly feel that buzz. But because I haven't felt it in a long time... No, but let me be honest, because you're probably like this as well. No, I'm not being slick. I'm not being slick. I feel like because we haven't witnessed, it's like Arsenal fans, maybe. You haven't witnessed success or any sort of hope for so long that you're emotionally dejected and detached from your team. And then as soon as you get near it, maybe emotions that you ain't even felt in like decades suddenly come out and you're like, oh shit,
remember,
maybe I do care.
I said Croatia before the World Cup started. So, bruv, I was like, we are one game.
Was you not hyped for the Croatia game? Was you not hyped?
Bruv, I was gassed. I was like, me and my Croatians are one game away from winning this thing.
That's what I'm saying. But then they just knock you down. Do you know what I mean? But I have to ask Monstar then, Champions League winners Chelsea and England winning the Euros, is that equal for you in terms of celebration?
No.
It's in the World Cup.
For me, it's winning the World Cup.
Okay.
World Cup is the biggest. Champions League is the biggest in club football, the biggest competition. In international football, it's the World Cup. If England win the World Cup, I cry, bro. I cry.
I would love to see this country. It would be nice to see if this country did win the World Cup.
This country don't deserve it, bro. This is why
that's
this
the thing.
country.
That's the thing. That's another thing. Do you guys feel like? Because I feel like in other nations they're a bit more attached to their country than maybe.
Oh! You want to talk about? Okay, let's talk about it. Okay,
yeah, because like Jamaicans. Who
remembers the last World Cup? It was on Talk Sport. The brother that called in from the middle of fuck knows where in this country. Oh yeah, but like. I know that we're in like the last top 4 in the like the league and that, like, and I know we're doing really good, but I'd rather England not win the World Cup. Why don't you want England to win the World Cup? Well, it's like it's not really English, is it?
I don't think he wasn't talking about the seniors. He was talking about the juniors when they won.
No, he was talking about the seniors. I remember, bruv. I remember this.
I swear it was when the juniors won.
It was the seniors.
I know it, but he's saying the same shit. Yeah, that's how it is.
And he's like, bro, because it's not really English.
The thing is, I don't want to
colored people in the team.
I wasn't even coming at it from that perspective because you could do the same thing with France.
That's how it is in this country.
Yeah,
you could do the same with France.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with France. You look at that France team that won the World Cup. Most of that team,
most of them are Africans.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. There was a politics when they won it in '98. I think it was. There was a politician, one of their politicians, that come out and said it weren't France that won; it was Africa that won it. Do you know what I mean? Because it was
But again, same difference. Like they don't. But what I'm saying is, you don't see people actively bash the French national team.
Yeah, but
that's going there and winning stuff.
That's a foolishness, isn't it?
We know how this country is, isn't it? We know.
Yeah, but that's the racism thing again. And by the way, like I said, we kind of know what it is.
What I'm saying is,
I wasn't even coming at it from that perspective. I was coming at it from the perspective of, do we living in this country feel as emotionally connected to England as a nation?
This is the question.
Do you know what I mean?
There's a reason. There's a reason I brought this up though. My question to you, is
I'm asking you though.
Can you? Okay, I'm backing the question to you. Can you actively go out there and support us, a country that, because they have players that look like us, won't accept those players as genuine players of the country?
Now I get it.
That's why I said that. I wasn't just doing that to do it for the fun of it.
I don't know. I don't know. Like with me, I've just been supporting England since I was a child, so. It's just the country I support, innit? It's like the club I support is Chelsea since I was a child. I get what you're saying. The way these men have moved is absolutely disgusting, and
because if we're gonna keep it,
people have heard me say a million times. I know how racist the Chelsea fan base is. I've been in the stadium and heard some horrific things in it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't even know about them, man. F them. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be super real, yeah. Quickly, someone said in the chat, France ban the hijab, please. The Islamophobia in France is wild, please. And we're not saying it's not. That's a conversation for another day, but we could get onto another point. What I'm gonna say though is this, bruv. And it's very simple. When it comes to this country, bruv, the only reason that a bag of these men will play for England is because it's their best chance of winning major honors. Let's just be real. Because if these men had good opportunities winning it elsewhere, they would play elsewhere.
No, but that's not the only reason, though.
You don't think so?
I'll give you a situation. I don't know if you guys remember, what year was it? 2014 World Cup. The situation with Ghana, with Sule Montari and Boateng and them, man. The situation of not getting paid, the situation with their FA and blah blah, that these players got sent home and all them kind of issues like that do happen with the countries back home in Africa. Do you get what I mean?
So not even Africa. For instance, my cousin, he's currently on the Jamaican national team right now, and he's told us. I'm not going to tell you what because he would get mad at me. He's told us certain stories of how their FA runs and how corrupt it is. It is actually quite wild. I'm not even going to lie to you. Yeah.
So there's many issues as to why, and plus as well, it's a lot of these guys. They just don't. I heard Saka what he said in it, and he was like, he just doesn't. He couldn't. He completely. The way it sounded like he doesn't identify maybe with the Nigerians to play for them, innit? Which you can't really blame him for that if his parents didn't necessarily take him back home or bring him up around that kind of culture and things like that. So can you blame him for playing for England rather than a country that he's never been to?
No, I understand that. No, 100%. That's
facts. That's facts.
Yeah, you have to make that own decision as a person personally, isn't it? That's your own decision. I just feel like, I don't know, man. It's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to identify with the England setup just as a whole. Obviously, the players are very diverse and represent the diverse, population of this country. But the upper part of it, the way that it's from the FA, and then it just doesn't feel. It doesn't
Plus
feel
media.
like
the media is just
the media as well. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
Even
really feel like it really. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not even
that's
saying
where the
on the bad
disconnect comes from a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
The
It's not really.
media's messed up, man.
Like I think we don't really talk about how nasty the media in England really is, bro.
You can talk about it, but people listen.
I think it's got better though. That's the funny thing.
I disagree.
No, but I don't think so. I don't listen.
Maybe I'm okay. Maybe not better. I'm talking about from a perspective of not
getting called out when they say wild.
I'm talking about in a perspective of not like the way that they deal with the England national team in terms of criticism in comparison.
Again, but it's just deflection. Matisse, you listen to the commentary today. Are you trying to tell me?
That's just over. Now they're trying to be too nice. Do you know what I mean? Because before they were overly critical.
It wasn't too nice. It was just deflections about like the team played bad, but this country won't just be honest today. For instance, against Romania, won't just be honest. England played bad. No, it's just excuse galore, bruv.
Young team.
Yeah, and then when they England. Listen, I love England, but they're gonna get smacked at some point when it happens.
And then it's going to be, again, as Messi said a minute ago, 4 year, next World Cup, next up. And then here's the thing, they're a bunch of young lads. And I was like, bruv, I swear we've been through this with the old boys, where all of them man were young at one point and they didn't do nothing. We've been through this when Lampard and Gerrard and Terry and Rio and Rooney, they were all young at one point. They didn't do anything. Plus, this team isn't that young. Yeah, you've got some young ballers, but the average age of the team, Matisse was like, probably isn't that young. Like, sorry, it's not the average age. The overall age of the team isn't that young. Yeah, you got a couple youngsters.
I just think it is a lot of deflection. Do you know what I mean? It's not the team age wise is nicely balanced. It's edging towards the young side, maybe, but it's not an excuse. If they're all top players and they deserve to be there, then there's no reason why they can't at least be competitive.
Again, more than like the gap between the Romanian
players, England League players with South American backgrounds, bro. South American, no. I'm being real. English players with South American backgrounds go play for their home countries. They don't play for England.
Yeah, they don't play for England.
I know
exactly,
a few.
Yeah.
I know a few. They don't play for England.
No,
they will never play for England.
CFC Felix says, as an immigrant, you are always caught in the middle. You aren't accepted as from your home country and are a foreigner in the new one. Yeah, I bet, man, because I wouldn't really know. Would I really know exactly what it's like? Not really, but so I'm not going to try and pretend that I can relate. But I definitely can understand where you're coming from in terms of that. That sounds spot on. I've heard a lot of people say that. To be fair, then you're just caught in this like kind of this alternate universe of just like not even fitting in anywhere. So you're kind of just hovering. Do you know what I mean? You're not, when you go back home, you're not really considered one of them. And you come over here, you're definitely not considered one of us. And I'm not even included in that us. So yeah, it's fucked up, to be honest.
Out here in England and London in general, we form our own, bro.
Kind of, really and truly. You're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, really and truly.
No, but they can't make us feel bad anymore. Like they don't make us feel bad anymore, bro.
No. Do you know why? But let me explain to you. Let me explain to you why. When I heard, here's the thing. Remember, I already took my heart away from England, but I remember last World Cup. Do you know why that burnt, man, bruv? It's because up until that point, the nation was vibing on England pushing through, and I was like, that one brother's comment on such a national platform. I was like, bruv. I was like, no matter. Because I remember the nation was vibing. Frimpong was throwing out daily videos. We're doing that again. Come on. Like, bruv, if you want the antithesis of someone that rose for England, go watch some Frimpong content during any international tournament, bruv. Bruv, that brother rose deep for England. And I was just like, the whole nation was vibing. and we were loving it. I'll be real with you. I wasn't
the last
really
World
feeling
Cup?
it. Yeah, the last World Cup. And even though I was impartial and I wanted my Croatians, big up to my Crows.
What have you got linked to Croatia?
I'm not gonna lie. I just saw their team before the World Cup, and I was like, "Raw,
You put
a bunch of ballers, you know."
Well,
Just like
man,
this time, and I'm like,
you put your hat in that race. I understand.
yeah, I'm like this round. I'm like, "Raw, bruv."
This guy's
I'm like,
committing treason, bro.
I'm like, Turkey's kind of got some ballers. I'm rolling with Turkey deep this tournament, but I was like, the whole nation was vibing, and then the media just comes along and just segregates, man, from everyone. I'm just like, kind of ruined the thing a little bit. We still were vibing, but it just weren't the same after I heard that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Listen, it is what it is, man. From what I'm seeing, preparation standpoint to what I've seen against Romania, which I'm taking with a pinch of salt, cool. But I'm not expecting much from.
I'm
this
not.
team
Okay, let's do two things. Two things real quick
before we wrap up.
How far do you think England's gonna go, and who do you want to?
Depends on who they're drawn. Because if they get drawn what they were drawn in the World Cup, that level, then these brothers will go away to the final.
Oh yeah, but that was there. They ain't getting lucky like that again.
You never know. This is a knockout competition. This is the thing. It's like how far you're going to go in the Champions League. You don't really know until you get the draws, isn't it? So England can get knocked out the first round out of the group if they get someone good and proper, or they could go away to the final on some nonsense. You know what I mean? On some lucky draw. It just depends. But for me personally, what do I expect of them is to get knocked out in the first round after the group stage, to be honest.
They don't love us.
I don't expect them to get knocked out, but in the group stage, I do expect them to get knocked out in the next round.
I'm gonna say quarters.
Someone asked me if I'm doing a Euro watch along.
Quarters.
That's adorable.
I'm gonna say quarters.
You think I'm watching England live in front of all you lot? Are you crazy?
Yeah, me neither. I'm not doing watch alongs to England, man. It's just gonna bore me to death.
I didn't even do Chelsea watch alongs. I did one for the Champions League final, which was very long to set up.
How boring was that?
England? Nah, bro. Nah, but you'll see some content though.
How boring was today's first half against Romania?
The whole game was boring, bro.
No,
bro. What do you mean how boring was
the first half against?
Bro, you fell asleep on the stairs, bro. I've got a video of Sadia dropping asleep on the stairs.
You do? For real. You took one. I was watching England. I was like, yo, nothing's happening. And I think I passed out at some point. Oh, you do? I feel like you should post it somewhere so they know we're not lying. You actually do.
Personally, I think the FA don't want to win, man. I just feel like they're sabotaging us. Like, it just feels that way, bro.
What you mean?
Well, because
sabotaging us. Why would they do that?
If they sack Southgate, they're going for the next yes man that's not going to take us anywhere. That's sabotage to me. That's sabotage, bro.
I can't even find the video. I must have deleted it.
They don't want real managers in charge of England, man.
Such a shame. I would have posted it on YouTube. I would have brought it into the stream.
Oh, and lastly. Okay, who you lot got? I got Turkey all the way.
France. Turkey all the way.
Yeah.
I think France with Benzema are the favourites for me. I think dark horses.
Them,
I don't even think they're dark horses because they won the last Euros, but I think Portugal are.
No, they won they lost in the final. No, are you talking about Portugal? They won the last Euros.
They won the last Euros, so they're not even a dark horse, but they're the holders. But yeah, Portugal are a shout as well. Belgium are due to win something. I can't lie. They really are. They need to
due to win something.
They've been due to win this since Vincent Company stepped in the building. Do you know what I mean? They need to get something done. But I really struggle to go against France.
It's kind of nuts that they still ain't won nothing.
Bro, that France team is peak.
Yeah, France
with Benzema now, it's peak.
Yeah, but look at that. The France under 21 team was peak as well. And look, that man got knocked out in the first round.
Bro, that's the France under 21. We'll talk about the main France team that just won the World Cup. Different teams, bro.
You're talking about apples and oranges here.
Yeah, different teams.
Completely different.
Okay,
teams.
by the way, also, I know we always say the UK, but never actually give a crap about the entire UK. Big up to the Scottish.
Big up to the Scottish.
Big up to the Scousers.
Yeah, big up to the Scottish, but they're getting spanked. You know
Again,
big up to them.
They beat Luxembourg. They did their
look after Billy. Yeah, look after Billy Gilmore.
Big up to them.
Big ups to them, man. But when you man are getting smashed 4-5, listen.
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't really sense that rivalry with. I mean, yeah, there's a rivalry with Scotland, but it's whatever. The Wales. Remember when Wales went to the semi-finals of the Euros? that was I was actually
the
happy
jealousy was real that year. Ooh.
It wasn't jealousy for me. I was actually quite happy for them, to be honest. I don't really see that. I don't really have that jealousy with Wales. I think if Wales are doing well, I'm just like, all right, cool.
They were better than us. We were. England were terrible that Euros.
Yeah, Wales did well.
Who they got? Iceland or who was it?
Yeah, I can't.
It was
Iceland, wasn't it? Don't do this to me. Just see what this country's done to me, and you wonder why I'm not doing watch-alongs, man. I'm asking about watch-alongs for England.
England couldn't break down Iceland.
Crazy.
Iceland. England couldn't break down Iceland. G. Deep it.
They couldn't even break down a food shopping.
Big man Wales beat
crazy.
Big man Wales knocked out freaking. It was Wales that knocked out Belgium. Do you get what I mean? We couldn't beat Iceland.
What's their population saying? Something mad. I remember all the stats coming out at the end.
It's mad low, bro.
2 mil or something.
Let me pull it up. It's crazy.
Tesco knocked us out.
Do you know that clap? Yeah, this is why I loved it, bro. Them man came in force, bro. Okay, Iceland.
Big up Nigeria just for the kit, man. At least for the kit.
For real. That's a beautiful kit every day.
Belgium at the end of their prime. Eden Hazard, yeah, man. They are. Smash the likes while you're here, people. Smash the likes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hazard ain't looking the same, man. He's not looking the same. Sorry. I don't want him back at Chelsea. I'm sorry.
Bro, me and you been saying this, bro. I feel like it's I remember when I tweeted it out, because as soon as the links came, I said, you know what, bun it, I'm sticking the tweet out. My opinion on this is coming out immediately. Firm. I'm not changing my stance. You just know when you're battling with Chelsea fans online about Hazard, it's always going to get ugly. But I'm trying not to do this emotional thing.
Do you know what it is?
336,000. Jesus. That's nothing.
It's not even a mil.
No, near
a mil. I was hoping for a $250,000 max.
Bro, the whole that means they must have been in one small village watching the game together when they beat England, man.
That Viking clap, bruv, was fire, bruv. I won't even lie to you.
Yo, England.
Oh, that hard. Respect.
How far do you think England are going, Saj and Monstar? How far are you?
I already said
round two. So just outside the group stage.
Semi-finals, bro.
Semi-finals.
I thought
quarterfinals.
I thought this England team was gonna go. I thought this England team could have done something, but when I watched them yesterday and the previous game, it doesn't matter who you put into this team. It's shit. It's actually shit. They're not going anywhere.
It's the manager, bro. It starts from the top.
It's the manager, man.
He can't even set out an attacking plan against Romania that doesn't look washed. He's making Sancho look like a bum.
And I said it, Matisse. I said it, but I told you before the game started. I was like, bruv, the way Sancho comes across under Southgate is bewildering to me, bruv.
It's nuts.
Like when I've never seen a decline like this ever before. Like if there's just one player that he's so bad, bruv. Do you know, I'm leaving it because.
Yeah, I mean, listen, people, we're going to wrap up soon because I just want to get some final thoughts on one last thing that's not even football related just before we wrap up. But we will be doing content around the Euros. We've got a series dropping soon, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be something different on this channel. It's not going to be streams. It's going to be video content. Skits. We're going to be doing some skits. We'll have a bit of fun. Switch it up a bit. So, yeah, no watch-alongs for England because do you really want me to fall asleep right in front of you live here? Not really. So we're not going to do that. But yeah, we're going to do some skits, throw out some different content, some shorter content. And just before we go, someone's already said it. Mayweather fight against Logan. I know it's a joke, but what's your opinions on it, Monstar, the whole thing? Just before we go in it.
Bro, they're ruining the integrity of the sport, man.
Ralph, they are, but money have to make. You know them ones.
Money have to make.
Money have to make. A joke. Listen, I'm going to tell you straight as it is. Logan Paul stands zero chance of beating Mayweather. You're talking about
Matisse believes that he can win. I'm like,
no, don't do that. I didn't say Logan can win. I said the reason why I don't think Mayweather's gonna. I don't think Mayweather's just gonna like put him on the floor. I don't see him doing it.
That's by the way, that's starting in like.
He will. Listen, I would even put money that if Floyd Mayweather's dad or RIPT's uncle was to step in the ring with
Roger, RIP Roger,
they would beat Logan Paul. Like, bro, this you're talking about a 40-year veteran against a guy that's been boxing for what, 2 years?
You should have seen what Matisse was like. Oh, but
why are you putting this narrative out there? Now I've got to defend myself on some
you didn't say Logan's bigger. There's no way Mayweather can knock him down.
What I'm saying is I don't think Mayweather is going to knock him out he might do a TKO, but I don't think he's actually going to put him on the ground because first of all, I just
He'll
don't
knock
believe
him
that
out.
Mayweather is even going to take this seriously. I think he's going to play up to the crowd, get everyone their money's worth, drag
Listen
it
to me,
out.
listen to me
Yeah,
carefully.
he might drag it out, but then he will knock him out. You saw it
course
with
he will.
Conor McGregor. You saw it when Floyd fought that Japanese kid or
KSI,
whatever kid he fought.
KSI couldn't even beat who could beat Logan. Are you trying to tell me that? Come on, bro.
They're gonna knock, bro. They're gonna knock him. I mean, he's
Again,
gonna
also,
knock him out. Like,
someone said, what if Mayweather loses? So even then, it doesn't matter because it's an
If
exhibition.
Mayweather loses, that is embarrassing.
He's not gonna lose.
But do you know what I do hate about this? Yeah, you've got pretend fighters fighting as the main events on cards where there are real fighters fighting for real belts.
That's why I said
underneath, because the clout lies at the top. Yeah, but this is how it goes because the clout lies at the top, and maybe some of those fighters underneath on the undercards will say, "Listen, this is a disgrace." But some of them will also say, "Well, you guys are going to put me in front of more viewers than I usually am in front of."
Yeah, that's what Billy Joe Saunders said when Billy Joe Saunders was on the KSI fight on the undercard. He said it straight. He said, "I made more money than I've ever made before." So, but still, to me, it's not always like when you listen to real boxers talk, like apart from obviously Billy Joe Saunders, but. Majority of them will tell you like this is a joke. Like they're just boxing's being. This is why UFC is overtaking it. Overtaking it
for real.
They ruined this started the sport of boxing. The integrity of the sport has been ruined since Floyd Mayweather. As much as I love him, Floyd Mayweather is probably my favorite boxer or my top 5 favorite boxers of all time. Floyd Mayweather started ruining the integrity of the sport, and I tell you why he started a ducking thing. He don't want to fight.
No. I'll go one better than that.
He don't want to fight fighters in their prime. He was running when the welterweight division was at his best with Paul Williams.
He didn't fight.
Hold on.
He didn't fight
Paul Williams and who else? Margarito and all these guys. Hold on. Margarito and all these guys, when they're all in their peak, Floyd decided to retire. When they started to decline, Floyd decides to come back and fight. And he starts to fight guys at catchweights. He starts to fight guys when they're done. He fights Pacquiao how many years later?
Rehydration clauses and also.
Yeah,
they only fight catchweights. And then here's the thing. Anytime that he really fought someone in their prime, it got kind of nuts. For instance, Sugar Shane Mosley, Super Zab Judah. Those were closer fights. But again, I've said it before, and I say it again. And my brother always say, "Oh, shut up! You don't know boxing. You don't know boxing, bruv." He didn't fight Pacquiao in his prime because he would have lost.
No, I don't. I don't know. No. That I don't know. I think he could possibly have beaten Pacquiao in his prime because Floyd in his prime before his hands went brittle, Floyd was an absolute just a knockout specialist in his own right. He was a proper boxer, but. It's the fact that he didn't even take the risk to fight any of these guys. Do you get what I mean? To me, like even when he fought Canelo Alvarez, he fought him when he was too young. Like he knows every single fight he's taken has been calculated. He knows he's gonna win. You know, he just ruined this sport. And I love this guy, but I'm tired. He's ruined it, and now he's doing this shit. Like I would have never thought I would see a guy who is how many weight class champions who's. It's always been about the money for Floyd, isn't it? And he's just
also, but more importantly, with the Canelo fight, there was a rehydration clause. More importantly, do you know where it was at catchweight as well? Do you know where I believe Floyd ruined the sport? This you can't lose your business is the dumbest thing in the universe.
That has ruined
that
sport of boxing.
Thank you, bro. I've been saying this. My brother's like, no. He's like, I'm arguing with my brother all the time because he's a boxer, innit? I'm like. Floyd's ruined the boxing because do you know why? Man, them are so scared to fight anyone because they believe once they lose their they lose any and all marketability within the sport. That man, they'll be ducking and diving, and you'll hear a bunch of man them say, "Oh, I want to fight, and I want to fight. I'm gonna fight the best."
Then they don't do it.
When they've like 16, 17 fights in, and now they have an opportunity to fight the best, they don't.
This is why we're not seeing the best fights.
The thing is about the O. Back in the day, if you had an O. So like Joe Kazagi is one of the fighters who had an O.
It used to mean more.
O never meant anything. If you had an O, that basically meant you're a joker. Do you get what I mean? Joe Kazagi is just like Floyd when he fought Eubank, or he fought Roy Jones and all these guys, and Bernard Hopkins.
Out of their prime.
They were all way past their prime.
Way past their prime. But the record looks nice. The record looks nice.
If Joe Kazagi fought Roy Jones in his prime, he would have knocked his front teeth out. You get what I mean? Or Bernard, like all these guys. So an O means nothing in boxing. Do you know what I mean?
I go off the
nothing.
And this is, do you know where the UFC wins, where boxing loses? And I'm a boxing stan. If you want to go into boxing, we can, but that's for another time. This is where UFC wins. Man, I see Donald Cerrone loses all the time. If you think that brother loses any markability, people love him. He's a character. He's a good fighter. But he always comes and he really goes for it. He doesn't pussyfoot around. Doesn't do any of that stuff. Bruv, star. You can lose 2-3 fights in a row in the UFC and just come back. And I'm like, do you know what? That just makes so much sense. The problem and the only reason that the UFC couldn't take over boxing is they don't pay their stars shit. That's it. How
people keep mentioning Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano is not the greatest.
Please stop, Rocky Marciano. Oh,
stop it, bro. Stop it.
Okay, if we're going off that, then Roberto Duran, one of the best of all time. If we're going like, don't do that. Don't just do the record thing, Rocky Marciano, bruv. Because who was Rocky Marciano really fighting, bruv?
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Who was he really fighting?
That Deontay Wilder and Tyson fight's happening again, isn't it?
Again, do you know why?
But there's a reason why. Like.
There's a
Listen,
contract.
as much it shouldn't happen. We know Tyson Fury beat him in the first fight. He should have won. It ended up in a draw, and he beat him, and he obviously wiped the floor with him in the second fight. But within the contract, there was a rematch clause. Every champion puts a rematch clause in their when they're signing the fights. So had Tyson Fury gone on to fight Anthony Joshua, he was leaving himself open to be sued. You know what I mean? Okay, so he has to. Like, I don't blame. Most people don't know. Listen, they say the biggest fight is not actually in the ring. It's the contract negotiations.
Contracts. And you get what I mean? Contracts are better now than they used to be. Back in the day, it used to be raw. If you win, you're my fighter now. So say you were fighting another, bruv. I'm like, I kid you not. Don King days and Eddie Hearn's dad back, Barry Hearn and all of them man were slave contracts. When I mean slave, them man, like, bruv, Tyson's spoken about it where Tyson was like, raw, I had 56 mil for a couple fights. Don King was managing the money. I don't know where the money went.
Someone asked, if Fury loses the fight, what would happen? Another rematch.
Not gonna happen, bro.
But if it does happen, there's going to be another rematch. I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury, who's the A side of the fight now, will put in a rematch clause himself.
But you know what? I think this is petty, bro. But this is the thing. I pray that Tyson wins, because when Tyson wins, bruv, it's done. But also, even on AJ's side with the WBO, where his mandatory is Alexander Usyk, he was gonna have to go he was gonna have to either step aside money or go and do the same thing again. But again, all of this politician with your Bob Arams and your Eddie Hearns and your flipping
Al Heyman.
All of these middlemen.
All of this, the politics of boxing kills boxing. UFC has such a streamlined thing. It makes so much more sense. The only problem is the only reason that the UFC will not be able to take over boxing. It makes sense. You're the champ. Firstly, one belt per division. Thank Jesus. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if they made
that's the one thing I agree with that.
Not one belt. There's too many belts.
And then you got the regulars and then your supers.
Because to become unified is a mission these days. You got to go around. You got to do a whole tour. Do you know what I mean? It's just long. It's impossible.
Yeah, just make one belt. Like there's WBO, there's WBC, WBA, IBF. IBO doesn't really matter too much. And then within the WBC, you got regular now. And then you see franchise.
You see man that can't win belts like Eubank Jr. try and drop in the whole IBO, try and count that as a regularized championship belt, even though it's not recognized by anyone. We're keeping it low key. We're not even going into the.
Listen, if I wouldn't even want to talk about Eubank Jr. because, man, listen, for that brother there, good luck with his career.
It's done.
That's what I got to say.
That career's done. But I'm saying all of this to say.
Someone said Dylan White.
Dylan. Okay,
yo, I got some of my boys are Dylan White's fighters, so I can't say nothing.
Dylan White's from N store. I'll keep quiet.
I can't say nothing on that one, boy.
Dylan White for UFC.
I'll just find you a Brixton and take you. But this is what I'm saying. This is just so much more complicated than the UFC streamline. You win the UFC, you're the head, you become the champ. You even fight, you may not fight number 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 at most. You're not really gonna fight outside 5. New people come in, knock a couple people out, raising sensations, fight new people. Yeah, I'm excited for Veroti versus Adesanya 2. It's gonna be a good fight next weekend. But all of this is just to say, bruv. And then this is just normal boxing. Let's not even add in this Logan Paul, KSI.
So that's what I was about to ask, right? Do you think there's a danger that the real boxers, the proper ones, will start to mix in with these YouTubers even more? Because say what we want, but Mayweather's retired. He can kind of do whatever he wants. But do you see a risk if these guys have got professional licenses and they meet the weight? Do you think there's a risk that they can mix in with the real boxers to then everybody can make more money? You see Logan Paul versus
let me quickly respond to Dillian White quickly. Dillian White is from Brixton, and yes, Dillian White, I would love to see him in the UFC. He was a kickboxer before he did the whole boxing thing, so it would be interesting. I do believe when he told AJ, if I catch you in the streets, it's going to be a problem. Do I believe? I believe that in a street fight, I need to be very clear, street fight, Dillian White would beat AJ. So back to
they're
this.
boxers though, and AJ wiped the floor with him. So what
again? But both of them have improved. Both of them have gone for a lot.
You know. Listen, you know what? Let's not even get. We know AJ is going to beat him again, but let's not even get to that. I mean,
okay, but okay, let's. So last thing you said, Matisse. Sorry, hit me again.
This brother's
sorry. Let
Monstar, because Monstar
it's already starting to happen, because you're already seeing. Even though Tommy Fury's like a celebrity stroke boxer, Tyson Fury's brother that was on Love Island, innit? He's trying to get one of the Paul brothers to fight. Very soon, boxers, because there's not going to be much money, because these men are taking the money away from the sport, they're going to want to get in on a pie, innit? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So they're going to want to start fighting these guys. So yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. It seems like everything now is more about clout more than anything, innit? That's all it is. You're seeing it with music. Music now, they're giving record deals to influencers with large followings or whatever. The Catch Me Outside girl, so many other people, DDG,
Daniel
all these people,
Bragulio.
they just give it. This is what's happening. And I'm seeing it everywhere. Presenter jobs, they're giving it to influencers. Do you get what I mean? These men are taking over, bro.
Not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of happy about that. Hit me up.
Was a slight shot. I like
my DMs.
It's not a shot, but you get what I mean. Like we're living in a world of clout. Say clout a bit.
But do you think this is a bad job on the part of boxing fans? So boxers themselves and boxing promoters to be able to market themselves. The fact that Jake Paul can come into such a polarizing sport and be more interesting than 90% of actual boxers in terms of selling themselves. You back in the day, you didn't have this problem.
These guys are the masters of selling themselves because their whole career is built on themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's not on their ability in terms of their craft, in terms of their their sport or whatever. It's built on their personality, or you know what I mean. That's what their whole career is based on. So of course they're going to be able to promote themselves better than these guys, because these guys are not here for the. It's like footballers. It's like footballers. Half of them, they're either media trained or their personalities are not that interesting. They're just normal guys.
You look at Tyson though,
normal guys.
Real boxer, a real genuine boxer, but can sell himself. It's a real personality. That's what
it's few and far between, though, isn't it?
Listen, I guess that's how the game goes. And boxing opened itself up for this, and now this is the seed sown, and now this is what they're reaping, in it. So they open themselves up to this, all this ducking and all that. It tuned people away from the sport. So what do you expect? This was always going to happen.
But you know what burns me, is where you have like Devin Haney on the undercard of a Jake Paul fight. I'm like,
But even him, they just gave him a WBC title.
Yeah, again, that was,
and he didn't even fight for it.
He
just got given a belt like that.
How did he get a title that he didn't fight for?
Okay, so basically,
he was given the regular WBC
title.
Regular,
and they boosted him up to the super. It was a joke thing.
They gave the franchise, the new franchise title to Lomachenko, and then they gave the regular to
even Canelo every 4th of Cinco de Mayo. The Mayan belt and the Chupacabra belt, and they just from brother. It's like, and this is the thing. Boxing needs the UFC, the UFC structure of how it should be set out. The only problem is the UFC don't pay enough. Like, if the UFC came over to boxing now, they wouldn't get better boxers because they don't pay they don't get paid enough money. If the money was right, it'd be a whole different situation. But with the money being what it is, it also gives the fighters a lot of leverage in boxing that it just doesn't in UFC. As in UFC, you don't really fight, you don't really compete, you're not really a draw, you're out of it.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, listen, we're gonna have to wrap up anyway because we're hitting the 2-hour mark. I thought I'd throw this in at the end, and it's I'm not gonna lie, boxing as a whole, just the whole structure of the sport right now deserves its own damn stream at this point, with the way that it's been going the last couple of years with these new guys around the block in terms of.
I wish we could stream the fight.
Just celebrities. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about streaming it. Yeah, but I'm not really. I don't know what it is, but I'm not really. I'm gonna watch the fight, Floyd versus Logan, but I'm not that excited for it to be streaming it. It's very similar to the England game. I'm not emotionally invested like that. I'm just interested to see what happens. But if it was a proper fight, then I'd, you know what I mean, between two evenly matched guys, then I'd be more invested. But I don't know what kind of Floyd is going to turn up. I don't know whether he's just going to start play acting or just going out there to enjoy himself, or whether he's going to put on a performance or he's just going to knock him out straight away. Highly unlikely that he's going to knock him out straight away in the first round, which is what he's capable of doing. Just don't see him doing it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think he's just going to play with him, to be honest, which is going to be just a charity match at this point. Last super chat saying CFC Felix says that's why Khabib's record is so impressive. I like Khabib, to be honest. I like it's a shame that he obviously came out of the sport, but that was for family reasons. But
yeah, but that's a G, bruv.
He's a proper fighter. Do you know what I mean? He didn't come from nothing else.
I don't think you understand. Most men in these type of sports don't leave the sport on their own terms. Very few men do.
Yeah, it's nice that he left on his own terms. Conor McGregor's fall from grace is a bit mad.
Most of these men leave punch drunk and flipping.
I mean, you saw what happened with Mayweather's uncle. See what happened with Muhammad Ali with Mayweather's uncle. You know, hearing about the story of how the man Mayweather's uncle just used to go missing at night a lot of the time, would just wander off, and the way he passed away as well. It's sad, bro. It's sad. So
can I just quickly say big up to Michael Venom Page and big up to Leon Edwards. You're doing it out, and flipping the boy up in Liverpool from the UFC. I'm forgetting his name. It's blanking off the top of my head. You man are doing your thing over there, and we appreciate it, you know.
Right, we're gonna wrap up. Big up to everybody still in. Literally midnight now. Over 500 of you in here. Smash the likes. It's been a long stream, but I thought to myself, do you know what? Why not? It's the oil boys. Do you know what I'm saying? We usually end up talking after this thing's over anyway. So I thought, you know what? Let's just tick off everything off the list.
Big up Darren Till.
Big up to everybody in the chat. Smash the likes. Make sure you go and subscribe to Monstar. His link is in the description as it always is. Victor in the chat. This brother just don't miss. Just even in the heat of the battle, he just don't miss. He's always here. Even at the end of the stream, my brother's still on point. Big up to Victor. Link is in the chat for Monstar. Monstar, any content coming out this week? What are you planning, bro?
Nah, just normal I just mainly just do the transfer stuff for Chelsea, innit? Just be doing my research, finding out the news, and then that
Tushimeni prop.
Shuameni, yeah, trust me.
That Tamagotchi prop.
Yeah, man, no, I love that kid, man.
Yeah, man. Well, let's see who signs in it. It's going to be an interesting summer, the transfer window. When does the transfer window open, actually, officially? It's not open yet.
This month, isn't it? It's this month.
I would assume so. I mean, is it the 1st of July officially, or is it before then? I swear it opens earlier now because it closes earlier.
I can't remember, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, listen, we'll see. Saj's Twitter is also in the chat as well. He's going to start tweeting a bit more. He definitely tweeted.
I've been tweeting.
He tweeted today. You've been replying.
Almost got 100 followers and that, you know. I don't know like
he's a grower. He's a grower. So yeah. Smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. The stream legit had everything. It went from PFA Player of the Year, all the way through to Southgate going south with England, and then also to the fight tonight, Mayweather versus Logan. I hope you guys enjoy. If you're going to watch it, let's see how long it lasts. If not, well, I guess enjoy your sleep. Yeah, it's late. Get to bed. Bless up. All right, people, in a bit. And maybe we'll see Big Steve next week. We might have to change the day. I'll let you know on Community Tab if we do change the time, just to suit everyone over the summer. But yeah, I'll keep you informed on the Community Tab. In a bit, people. Peace.
Lovely.